Welcome to The Show Off, the podcast where we make each other sit down, shut up, and watch episodes of our favorite TV shows and then explain, or be forced to listen to, why it's top-tier television. This show is for anyone who has ever wanted to go on endless tangents about their favorite shows, but their friends and family don't want to hear it. We get it. Ditch those losers and come hang out with us instead. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Campy.
And this is The Show Off.
Previously on the Show Off podcast. Our theme is...
The category is fantasy.
Fantasy! Oh, we're going to be talking about the Wheel of Time.
Yeah, we are, baby! We're watching the Wheel of Time fantasy television show on Amazon Prime. The episode we're doing is Season 1, Episode 5, Blood Calls Blood. A mysterious sorceress, along with her loyal bodyguard, takes 5 young people on a dangerous and world-spanning journey. It is the best fantasy show on television right now. Okay. Hi, everybody. This is actually a quick interlude before we dive into our Wheel of Time discussion today, because it is currently May the 28th, and as of a few days ago, May the 23rd, I believe, Amazon did the unthinkable.
Yep.
And announced that they were canceling the Wheel of Time despite excellent audience scores, critical reviews, and a truly fantastic season of fantasy television this year. And get this, a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes.
What
I kid you not.
hell?
I kid you not.
Oh.
Yeah.
They knew they were going to cancel it then before the season even came out.
I don't know, man. I don't know what they're doing. There's a lot of speculation going on right now, like, especially with them having both Rings of Power and the Wheel of Time. I think they doubled down so hard on the Rings of Power that they realized, or they think they don't have enough money to fund both of them. They definitely do.
They do.
But anyway, I who knows what they're doing. I think it was an emotional decision on their part, to be honest. But anyway, needless to say, the fans, including myself, are not letting this stand. We're campaigning for the Wheel of Time to either get put back on Amazon's roster or get picked up by another streaming service like Apple TV or even Netflix if we must. This is not entirely out of the realm of possibility.
It is not.
It is not. We all know shows that have been saved.
Chuck, thanks to the Subway campaign.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Oh, you didn't know about this?
Wait, I watched Chuck when it was on. It got saved?
I'm pretty sure it was Chuck. They were going to cancel it, and then a bunch of fans just started buying a shit ton of Subway because Subway ads would run all the time for the show. And then it got another season.
Okay, I maybe remember that now.
So it is possible.
That was like, it stayed on the same network. It was on NBC. Yeah.
Grassroots effort, baby.
Yeah. The Expanse a few years ago, which is ironically picked up by Amazon. Brooklyn Nine-Nine got saved by Hulu. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So there's precedent. And the Wheel of Time is actually in a shockingly good position to be saved.
Yeah.
Coming off this amazing season 3. I think everyone in the fandom is hoping for Apple TV because they have deep pockets and they have a great track record with their genre TV, to be honest. They have a lot of sci-fi on their network, and they don't seem to care about spending money. Like, they're as far as I know, actually, they're not profitable.
Seriously?
The purpose of Apple TV is not to be profitable. It's to get market share. I don't even know. But you know, Apple is the most profitable company in the world.
Cranking out bangers.
Exactly.
I haven't seen a lot of Apple TV shows, but I've seen Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
And I hear a lot of good things about whatever that one with Adam Scott is.
Severance. Yeah. I've watched a couple of episodes and I want to watch more.
Yeah.
That may show up on the Show Off Pod at some point or another. But yeah. But you know what they don't have?
Wheel of Time?
Yeah, Wheel of Time. They don't have an epic fantasy.
Wow. Now's their chance.
And if they want to compete in that arena, they couldn't do better, honestly, than the Wheel of Time. So
Apple TV buys Wheel of Time and they're competing against Amazon's Rings of Power.
Dude, there will be no contest.
Exactly.
I can't even
That's the joke.
Yeah, I can't even overstate that enough. I hope they get the Wheel of Time just to stick it to Amazon. Because I think it'd be funny.
That would be very funny.
And yeah, I think they'd be the show would be in great hands over there. But yeah, I digress. If you want to help us out, you can go to savewot.com, savewot.com, and sign the petition. It takes 2 seconds. There's a letter pre-written for you. All you do is add your name and email, and you will not be spammed or contacted further in any way. This is a totally like fan-driven campaign. If you are a fan of the show, you can also go on there and like write a letter to the cast and crew about how much you love the show. There's a couple different things, and yeah, the point of that is we just need to show, streaming platforms that could pick up The Wheel of Time, that this show has a loyal fan base, and people who will sign up for whatever streaming service takes The Wheel of Time. So the link will be in the description of this video /podcast, or you can go to savevote.com and sign the petition. And yeah, even if you're not a fan of the show, if you've ever been a fan of another show that got unjustly canceled, or you just want to stick it to Amazon.
Pretty sure we've all been there.
Yeah, and help us get The Wheel of Time picked up somewhere else. Please sign. Just trying to do the Lord's work over here. Okay? So thank you so much, and back to your regularly scheduled episode.
Enjoy the episode.
We need to I feel like we need vocal warm-ups every time we...
Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather.
How's it going?
It's going all right. Apparently. I've got allergies.
Yeah.
So that's a thing.
Yeah, that's a new thing for you.
Yeah. That's not bad.
So if you're just like randomly...
watery eye.
Yeah, if you're just like randomly crying during this episode...
It is a very emotional
It was a very... I know how to pick them, y'all.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
It's pretty intense. Pretty intense.
How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, spring has sprung. Slowly but surely inching towards summer as well, which is
actually tolerable.
Always the goal. Yeah, tolerable. We're in a good tolerable phase right now.
Still a little cold some days, but it's not bad.
Yeah. So we're back with our first official episode of Show Off Season 2. I don't know how we're differentiating between this and our WandaVision reactions.
Yeah, I don't know how to differentiate.
This is the original Show Off
your regular
format.
scheduled programming.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this week, it's my pick, and our category is fantasy.
Woo!
And we're watching The Wheel of Time.
Woohoo!
I have been waiting for this day.
You've been
for
trying to get me to watch
years.
this for a while now.
Probably since season 1.
Yeah, but I think since it came out.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah, pretty much. 2021. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the first episode of our fantasy genre picks. We're going by genre this season instead of just like random shows we like, which I think was kind of most of how we categorized season 1. But then it also somehow involved a lot of heists.
Well, I mean, that's just what you like.
Yeah. But then you do.
I did pick a couple of heist episodes. What can I say? They keep you on the edge of your
Heist
seat.
and con.
So.
Heist and con was a big theme. Okay, but today we're doing fantasy. If you heard my spiel on the previous episode, you know that this is my pick, Amanda's pick. Mm-hmm. Wheel of Time on Amazon Prime, adapted for television from Robert Jordan's epic 14-book fantasy series, written in the 90s originally, mostly written by Robert Jordan, I should say, and finished by Brandon Sanderson after his death. The last 3 books or so, I think, were written by him. So I will give the show stats again real quick, just in case you missed them last time. The Wheel of Time began airing in 2021 on Prime Video. It just wrapped its 3rd season here in 2025. When we were recording last time, it was the day before.
Yeah, there was still an episode left.
The finale, yeah.
I'm so curious. We'll have to wait for the end of the episode, but I want to hear your reaction to the season 3 finale.
I can talk a little bit about it, for sure. And yeah, as of the time of recording this podcast, we are still waiting to hear about season 4 renewal and beyond.
I mean, fingers crossed from everything I've heard.
Big fingers crossed. I think I mentioned in the last episode, there's some legal shenanigans going on, I think, behind the scenes that's delaying things. But
is season 3 usually the death kiss for most streaming service shows?
I don't know. I think it really depends on which streaming service.
Fair enough.
If it's Netflix, I would say season 2.
Fair enough.
But yeah, waiting on that. So
hopefully not.
Yeah, if ratings are anything to go by, there's no reason to cancel it because it's only been getting better and reaching more people. So I don't know why they wouldn't renew it, but hopefully they do. Okay. The Wheel of Time stars Rosamund Pike as Moiraine Damodred, Daniel Henney as Lan Mandragoran, Yosha Stradowski as Rand al'Thor, Madeline Madden as Egwene Elvire, Zoe Robbins as Nynaeve Almira, Marcus Rutherford as Perrin Ibarra, and Barney Harris as Matt Cawthon in season 1. In our last episode, I mentioned Donald Finn, who currently plays Matt Cawthon in seasons 2 and 3, but in season 1, it was Barney Harris who played Matt. He left the show at the end of season 1. So those are our 7, count them 7, main characters of this show.
And there's a ton more.
Yeah, there's a ton more. There's a ton more. In this particular episode, we also have Peter Franzen as Stepan, Kate Fleetwood as Leandrin, Priyanka Bose as Alana, just to call out a few side characters. But that's not even all of them.
No.
Yeah, there's at least like 3 or 4 others off the top of my head.
I was running out of clever nicknames for all of the characters. It's just too hard to keep up.
Oh my God, I can't wait to hear all the nicknames. I forgot. Okay, in our last episode, I did a little brief overview of the Wheel of Time, the world of the Wheel of Time, and the magic system, Aes Sedai and Warders, the Dragon Reborn, etc., etc. So I suggest you go back and listen to that last 20 minutes or so if you are not familiar with the Wheel of Time. It's a lot of world building. It's a lot of systems and cultural knowledge, I guess, to learn as you go. So we are discussing episode 5 of season 1, Blood Calls Blood, which was written by Rafe Judkins, who is also showrunner for The Wheel of Time, and Celine Song, who is the credited writer for this episode. This episode was directed by Sally Richardson Whitfield, who was apparently nominated for a Hugo Award for her work on The Wheel of Time. I'm not sure if it was for this specific episode, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was. Yeah, so we have a 2-woman writer-director team here.
That's awesome.
Which we always love to see.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get into the episode deep dive, I realized from rewatching this episode and diving into it that I have a lot of my own personal pop culture and TV opinions riding on this show.
Okay. Are we going to get some spicy takes?
Medium spicy, maybe. I feel like I have a golden opportunity here to talk about not 1 but 2 of the pop culture, storytelling, film and TV hills I will die on, which is How to Do a Good Adaptation. Okay,
yeah, you are very passionate about that.
I have strong opinions.
It's like you wrote a dissertation on it or something. I don't know.
It's like I wrote my senior thesis on adaptations. I did, if you didn't know that. And the other thing is, like, when talking about relationships and like on-screen depictions of relationships, the platonic sexual scale is completely different from the romantic, non-romantic scale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you understand this.
Yes.
I'm not trying to explain this to you. But I think most people have no concept of that.
Well, no, because media is very bad at separating the two.
Yes.
Very bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Lord of the Rings is one of the few prime examples of here's how to have a very passionate platonic relationship. That's not romantic or sexual.
Yeah.
It's just very deep.
Yeah.
And I definitely get the vibes just even watching 1 episode of this.
Yeah. We're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
We're going to deep dive. It's going to be
intense.
great. Yeah, for sure. Okay. And yeah, we'll probably talk about some healthy masculinity.
Woo!
And a little bit of religion, magic, and witchcraft, which is also a class I took in college. So
yeah.
I mean, it's an exciting day for me.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition, and we're about to get it, baby.
Yeah, a little bit, just a little bit. Okay, so before we head into the episode, any first impressions, general thoughts you want to share about the Wheel of Time or this specific episode?
Very intense.
Yep.
Very emotional. Even though like some of the pacing was occasionally kind of slow, it was still one of the things where it was like, there's still more runtime. And then I was like, wait, the episode's almost over. It was like both at once somehow.
Oh, interesting.
Where it was like, there's so much happening.
Yeah.
I don't know. So it's definitely, I wanted to keep watching. But it was very, very sad.
Yeah.
It was very sad.
Yeah. We open and end with a funeral.
Yes, I did notice that.
Book-ended funerals. Yeah.
And then there's some torture thrown in as well.
Yep.
I don't like that.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of the more emotionally hard-hitting episodes of
you
probably
really
the whole show, I would
put
say.
me through a tough episode to start on as far as my introduction to the whole series.
I did. I don't pull my punches.
Yeah, no, clearly not. But no, overall, it's, I guess, intrigue is my buzzword for this episode. There's a lot of the characters where I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
but what's going on here?
What are you doing?
What more is happening?
Yeah.
So we'll get into that.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have a fave?
Dark Keeley.
Okay. I'm gonna take a guess. Wait, what name did you say again?
Dark Keeley. Keeley is in one of the dwarves from The Hobbit.
Dark Keeley. Who do I think you're talking about?
And do not confuse Dark Keeley with Dollar Store Jeff Goldblum.
All right. Well, we'll have to get to it because I have no idea who you might be talking
sense.
about. Okay. All right. Then let's dive into our episode, shall we? Okay. So we do start off with our previously on, which I told you to watch. So we saw from last episode. We showed Perrin and Egwene with the Tuatha on, the traveling wagon people, the White Cloaks, and Rand Matt getting away from a Fade, and most importantly, Logain the false dragon breaking out of his cage and stabbing one of the green Aes Sedai, Karene, and we see her warder step in, feel her die because they are bonded by the one power. Yes.
Quick question. What's a Fade?
Okay, a Fade is that like Nazgul looking thing
Okay.
that I think they only showed it in the previously.
I saw there was a Nazgul in the previous.
Yes,
Neon.
that's a
the
Fade.
Fade.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fade equals Nazgul.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, we saw step in, feel her die because they're bonded by the one power, as all Aes Sedai and warders are. The outcome of that is going to be the emotional weight of our episode here. Fortunately, Nynaeve exploded with the one power and healed everyone else that was injured in that episode. So that's where we're starting. We open on this like snowy mountain vista in the immediate aftermath of the battle that has just taken place. And we see our Aes Sedai and our warder friends burying both their own people and their attackers who were killed in the battle, which I find interesting.
I did not realize they buried both.
Yeah. And like everyone all together. There's
Yeah,
like no separation. I'm going to talk about that more in a minute.
Yeah, and it's all at this point too, not close up, but like shots where it's just the one body that's being buried, and then it shows a different shot of another body being buried.
Yeah.
Which I point that out for a reason.
Okay. Yes, and there's like a very haunting vocal melody over the whole thing. I love the music. There's snow falling. Everything feels very cold. Very fitting for this scene. And we see our new warder friend step in, who we just met last episode, carrying the body of his Aes Sedai in this kind of burial ceremony. Moiraine is walking next to him, along with other Aes Sedai, all reds, greens, and Moiraine is the only blue sister there. Just for quick clarification, red Aes Sedai, they're like, the thing they're in charge of is making sure that they're like handling men who have the one power, because all men who have the one power go crazy.
Yeah.
So that's their job, and they generally kind of hate men.
That explains the context later when they're talking about how all the red Aes Sedai hate men.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
cool.
For sure. Greens are the battle Aja. So they are fighters, and they are charged with defending humanity against the Dark One at the last battle. So those are the type of people we're dealing with here.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Do they get to pick?
They do get to pick.
They do get to.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's not like a sorting hat thing. They get to pick, and there's like a whole, ceremony and process they have to go through.
So Neve, is that her name?
Nynaeve.
So she's kind of wearing green tones.
She is.
Is that intentional?
Good question. I don't think so. She's still in her like Two Rivers clothes that she left the village with.
Just a coincidence.
Just a coincidence right now.
But she did kick some ass.
She did kick some
Battle
ass
mage
unintentionally.
style.
But the way she kicked ass was by healing everybody. And there is a healing Aja. The yellow Aja is healing and healers. And
she's
she's
a packer, green and gold.
No! Why would you say that? No, but she's already kind of an herbal healer. She's like a wisdom.
Okay.
Which is kind of like a herbalist, folk healer sort of person.
Okay, cool.
For her village. Yeah. Okay. Where was I?
Yep. Sorry, broke your flow.
That's okay. Yeah, we were talking about the Ajas. Okay. So there's this funeral procession happening. Step in, lays Krene, his Aes Sedai, in this very shallow grave, which
Yeah.
I'm assuming like that's mostly for us. That's so that we can see what he's doing.
It has to be just a cinematic thing.
Right. And like, I'm assuming they can use the one power to dig those graves deeper fairly quickly if they wanted to. I don't know. I did get stuck on that for like half a minute.
Graves to dig.
Yeah. But he lays her down and he removes her Aes Sedai ring and puts it on a cord around his neck, and he looks very bad. He looks rough.
He's just called Sad Dude.
Sad Dude, yeah.
For the whole episode.
That is kind of,
because every
really
time
sad.
he enters a shot, he just looks so fucking
He's
sad.
so sad. Props to the actor. Because,
Truly.
Yeah, and it's even just like only having him in these 2 episodes, the contrast is remarkable.
Oh, yeah?
Because in the previous episode, he was like normal and fine, and he's Lan's friend, and he like has cool axes, and
now he's just...
he's a shell of a human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. I didn't even realize that he was only in 2 episodes, including this one.
We literally just met him last episode.
Because even though he's a short-term character, he still feels like a very fleshed out character, even though I only meet him when he's sad guy.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's something the show does very well in general, because there are so many characters coming and going.
Yeah.
I think they do a remarkably good job of making everyone feel fleshed out, even if they're only in, the show for a small amount of time.
You're able to distinguish all of them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think costumes and stuff helps a lot with that too. Like everybody is very distinctive. Like certainly when we're talking about Aes Sedai versus White Cloaks versus the Way of the Leaf traveling people, there's a very like full world here with lots of different kinds of people. So anyway, so he's not looking great. He goes to like pull this white cloth over her, but kind of stops before he can cover her face. And our man Lan puts his hand on his shoulder, and then he pulls up the cloth over her face all the way. Moiraine sets her candle on the body over the cloth and says, "May the last embrace of the mother welcome you home," which I think is quite beautiful.
Yeah.
And it speaks to the wheel of time. Everyone goes back to who knows what and gets churned out again in another lifetime. Like this is like a established fact of of the world of the wheel of time. Like everyone knows this is how it works.
They know like reincarnation exists.
Yes. Yeah.
Wait, I guess, you were talking about the Dragonborn?
The Dragon Reborn.
Dragon Reborn.
Yeah.
Not Dovahkiin. Because, he was reborn.
Right.
Which is why Okay,
yes.
This makes sense now.
Yes. We got there.
Got it.
Did it. Nailed it. Already getting philosophical on you. And then we see Moiraine get up and look at Lan, and they have one of their 3-second eye contact only conversations, which is one of my favorite things about them. And they're feeling the weight of this because both of them almost just died too. And then if it hadn't been for Nynaeve channeling, like everyone would have been toast basically.
That's okay. Because that was part of their 3-second eye contact only conversation that I caught was, holy shit, this could be me feeling this pain right now.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that they actually were close enough to dying.
Yeah.
Actually, okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, I mean, like all of the above.
Yes.
All of the above, for sure. Yeah.
But I definitely, even without the context of, oh my God, they almost died, I still felt like they are having a moment of, fuck, this could be us or this will be us one day.
Right, 100%. And they are on the most dangerous timeline. Like the two of them looking for the Dragon Reborn, actively trying to prevent the end of the world and get to the last battle so they can fight the last battle and help the dragon win to save the world. There's a more than like 80% chance that this will happen to one or both of them.
Yeah.
The stakes,
you can feel it.
The stakes are real. Yeah, and you can feel it.
And such a quick shot. And
so quick.
Some simple acting.
Simple, but like, the energy between them is crazy. I'm like the eye contact
to casting.
Yeah.
Just saying.
1,000,000%. And I'm pretty sure they're the first 2 actors casted. Rosamund Pike was first, obviously, as Moiraine. And then once they had Moiraine, they were like, well, we got to find Lan now.
Yep.
So, yeah, you can tell. Last shot of this cold open, we pull up and overhead to see all the graves with their white cloths covering the bodies arranged in the circle. And what does that look like?
a wheel.
It looks like a wheel
Wow.
with spokes.
No, it was a really cool shot though. And that's why I
Sick.
pointed out earlier that it's like you're only showing one body in like semi close up at a time. And then the last shot is, oh fuck, a bunch of people died.
Yeah, yeah, right. And like we knew that from the last episode, but to
Yeah.
like see all the bodies.
But it's also presented in a very pretty way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
In a very witchy way. It's very cool.
Yeah, it's very cool, symbolizing the wheel of time, birth to death and back again, over and over. The cycle never ends.
Also just like
Yeah.
putting them all in the same circle.
Yeah, and
Just
like everyone
representing of like, we're all connected. We're all the same.
Yes, and I think that like when I was talking about before that they buried their enemies and their
Yeah.
comrades in the same
very
wheel.
symbolic.
That's what it is. It's like we are all here in this lifetime. We all go back to the same place and we come back again and do it all over
We just
again.
keep killing each other.
Just yeah.
Oh, fuck, that hurts.
Yeah. It's like everyone has multiple lives, multiple turns of the wheel, and that's just something that the world knows. And I feel like it's obviously from this scene alone, but then in other ways, it's very like baked into the show.
Yeah.
That like permeates everything, I feel like.
Huh.
So cool stuff. Did you watch the intro? Because then we get the intro right after
The title
this.
sequence?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Wasn't it?
It was so cool.
Yeah.
Because, okay, it's called weaving when they
Yeah.
do the
They
thing,
call it weaves and
like,
they also call it channeling.
channeling. But yeah, that's how the title sequence, it's
Yeah.
weaving.
Yeah.
But then it's actually literal weaving. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's making a fucking tapestry. It's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. And in season 1, I think every episode has this title sequence. Then in season 2 and 3, only maybe 1 or 2 episodes have the full title sequence because they just realize we got to go.
We got shit to do.
Yeah. But it's beautiful.
No, it's really cool. And I think, too, and I could be way off base here, but to me, that type of tapestry weaving is, in my mind, associated with a very feminine practice. Like, I'm pretty sure the women of the castle were the ones who spent their whole lives making these tapestries and weaving. And so the whole opening sequence feels very feminine, but very powerful.
Yes.
And that seems to be the thing of the show.
Listen, the theme is women and power.
And it's
for sure.
fucking amazing.
So good. It is so good. Yeah, and I think too, now that we're talking about it, the fact that the whole title sequence of the show is focused on the Aes Sedai and focused on the One Power and women wielding the power speaks to how they adapted the show from the books, because in the books, I'm going to talk more about this later, but in the books, we are really following the Dragon Reborn.
Right. Yeah. And you did mention this to me when we first sat down to watch a battle scene.
Yeah.
Not even
yeah.
an episode.
Yeah. No, I was like, you just got to watch this fight. But this version is really focused more on, at least to start, Moiraine and her journey finding the Dragon Reborn.
Yeah.
And then how do we go on from there? So I will talk more about that later, but let's continue. Okay, so we have our little title sequence, and then we come back, and it's 1 month later.
Yeah.
Which is like, we really don't have time, do we? So, okay, it's 1 month later. The Aes Sedai warders are pulling up on Tar Valon, the White City, where the Aes Sedai headquarters is, which is the White Tower. We see Steppen on his horse with Karene's horse in tow next to him, and what I believe is her boots hanging backwards from the saddle, which is
like an
so sad.
Extra sad touch.
It was so
like
sad.
just having him next to an empty horse.
Yeah.
Is
First
sad
of all,
enough.
yeah.
And then you see the boots bumping around and you're like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like you have half a thought of like, why did they keep her boots though? But we're going to see that later.
It's extra sad.
It's extra sad. But yeah, there is another reason, which we'll see later. And we see Logain now stilled and chained up. Yes.
He's the false dragon?
He's the false dragon.
Okay.
He's the guy with the long hair.
Cool. He is dollar store Jeff Goldblum.
Dollar store Jeff Goldblum? You think he looks like Jeff Goldblum?
In a very certain shot.
In a very roundabout way.
Kind of looks like him.
Noted. Okay, so he's been gentled, I should say. Gentled is the term they use for men who have the One Power taken away from them. So he's chained up, and then we see a bunch of other Aes Sedai, and then Moiraine and Lan at the end of their little procession. And
yeah, they're like way behind everybody.
yeah. And they have a little convo where he's like, oh, it's been a long time since we've been home. And she's like, is it home though? This saddle is home. This cloak, this brooding man at my side. And he kind of laughs.
Like that line a
it's
lot.
pretty cute. I don't know. Moiraine asks if he thinks Nynaeve is ready for the White City, and Lan says she's worried about Steppen because warders are not supposed to outlive their Aes Sedai. Which is kind of a silly thing for him to be saying to Moiraine, but really he's saying it to us. Moiraine just replies, neatly sidesteps any implication there for them at all, and replies that Steppen is strong and he'll deliver her ring to the tower. And then she mentions the other four to...
Ooh. Ow. Sorry. The fact that all she cares about is like, well, he'll make it that far.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, because they don't know. Like, they really don't know at this point what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's as much as she feels confident saying.
Yeah. And then it's a good way for her to just avoid the conversation altogether.
Completely. Yeah, and I wonder, too, if, like, we're trying to place that line in context of them actually talking. Did he say that to try and like start a conversation, or who knows? But that we really needed to hear that information. So, but yeah, then she mentions the other four to segue us into Rand and Mat on foot approaching the White City as well.
Yeah. So the four hobbits, the four teenagers, they got separated, or there are five of them.
Well, okay, so Nynaeve is lumped in with them, but she's like a little bit older. She's like maybe 5 years older than them.
Okay, that I didn't know.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like super relevant, but yeah, then the four are Rand, Egwene, Perrin, and Mat.
Okay, so they got separated somehow.
Yeah, originally everyone was together with Moiraine and Lan, traveling, getting out of the Two Rivers, which was attacked, which is the battle scene we watched. Around episode 2 or 3, they all get separated for reasons I won't go into right now. So yeah, so that leaves Rand and Mat together and Perrin and Egwene together.
Okay, all right. So the two that we're pulling up on right now then.
Yeah, are Rand and Mat.
Target Legolas. Okay, to be fair, in the shot...
We got Dollar Store Jeff Goldblum and Target Legolas.
And Dark Keely. So Dark Keely is his friend. And in the shot where Target Legolas pulls up, he's wearing a green cloak with the hood up, and he's got a fucking bow on his back.
Target Legolas does.
Target Legolas.
Yes, he does. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's got a vague Orlando Bloom-shaped face.
Okay.
Vaguely.
So that's Yosha Shadowski, who plays Rand. He gives me such Anakin Skywalker vibes in this first season. It's like once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Wait. We are talking about the same person, right?
Yeah, the red hair.
Blonde.
The redhead.
Yeah, okay. Curly hair-ish?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, cool. We are.
Yeah. The Anakin vibes are strong on him. But okay, Dark Keely. So that's your fave.
Yeah.
Ooh, I want to hear more.
Oh, I'm intrigued by him.
Okay.
At first, I was like, no, fuck this guy. Because in this scene, we get a jump scare with him literally like snapping turtle, yelling at some kids who go running past him, giggling.
Okay, let me get into it first.
Yes,
okay.
Sorry.
So, so we're with Rand and Mat on foot approaching the White City as well. Everyone's converging on Tar Valon, which is great because we need to get the band back together. Mat at this point has been possessed by an evil dagger.
Okay, yeah, he looks like Frodo when they're like trying to go up Mount Doom.
Yes, that's very much the vibes.
Yeah.
That's very much the vibes. So that's what's happening with him. He is high on evil dagger right now.
Yeah, because I'm like, this guy's evil. Hello. Yeah, we all can see it.
Well, and like also
no one's reacting to how evil he is.
I mean, but also he looks like actual death. Like he looks like he's about to keel over.
Dark Keely.
Yeah, and then he almost like takes out some children.
Yeah. Like just some kids go running past giggling.
Yeah, which is very unusual for Mat because Mat actually is very good with kids. He has 2 younger sisters.
So all the more reason to be like, dude, why are you evil right now?
Exactly.
Why is no one asking this question?
It's not his fault. He's possessed. We'll find out. We'll talk more about this later, but Rand is concerned that Mat might be a channeler.
Yes.
And then, so that's what's happening.
So he thinks he's going crazy.
He thinks he's going crazy, maybe.
The power.
No one else knows about the dagger.
Okay.
Okay. So they see the city and then they go in and we get to see Tar Valon for the first time. And it's pretty neat.
It's cool.
Yeah. They find an inn and there's just for a second, there's a mysterious whistling in the background. Did you notice this?
No.
Okay. There's a mysterious whistling. Yeah. I'll come back to that. They get a room with 2 very uncomfortable looking beds, and Rand tries to reassure Matt that his dagger-possessed ass didn't kill the family that they were just staying with in the last episode. That was the Fade, which is the Nazgul looking thing.
Okay, yeah.
They also mentioned Tom here, who was a traveling gleeman, which is a bard, basically, in the Wheel of Time universe.
Okay,
and
Tom's dead. That's all I wrote down in my notes.
They are assuming Tom's dead. We don't know Tom's dead. But Tom was helping them out, and he's like this older bard guy, and they left him behind fighting the Fade. And yeah, now they think he's dead. But I'll just say I like Tom a lot, but we're not going to see him in this episode. So, okay.
One quick note that I want to make to just the Dark Keeley actor.
Please.
A great move by him. So he's wearing a cloak, right?
Yeah.
He looks like he's wearing a hoodie. Like he looks like a hoodie guy who's got the hood pulled way up high, kind of hunching his shoulders a bit, and he's got the pockets, got his hands in his pocket.
He's very much like folded in on himself.
Yes, because he's literally wrapped the cloak around his hands, and he has his hands almost in the hoodie pocket position.
Nice.
And I'm like, dude, it's so solid.
Yeah.
Because it fits the scene.
Yeah.
It fits the fantasy. I don't know.
Yeah.
The costuming.
Right. But he found a way to do that.
He looks like sad hoodie dude. It's perfect. So I just wanted to call that out.
No, that's great. I'm glad you're noticing stuff like this.
Because a very subtle little bit of acting as they were walking where I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that's true. I'm glad you noticed stuff like that because I don't particularly like Matt in season 1, so.
We'll get there. I also just think it's cool because at least in this, the interactions between Matt.
Yeah.
Dark Keeley. And
Rand.
Legolas.
They have 1-syllable names.
They make it very accessible though. The way they talk to each other feels like a modern audience talking to it feels like us talking to each other. It feels modern, even though they're in a fantasy setting. Where I feel like most fantasy settings, the way the dialogue's written doesn't feel natural to what would happen in the real world.
Sure.
It's not supposed to.
Yeah.
But there's a way that they talk that makes it very accessible and relatable, but also very teenage.
Yes.
Angsty.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah.
So,
and they're all supposed to be 20.
Side tangent, but I like these two.
No, I love that. I love that a lot. That also kind of speaks to the world building of the Wheel of Time, honestly, because the Wheel of Time is both like medieval fantasy, but also post-apocalyptic. So we learn later more about the breaking of the world, which happened 3,000 years ago. And at that point in history in this world, the world was very modern. They had technology, they had skyscrapers, they had flying cars, they had all this stuff, and they had magic on top of it.
Oh, what?
And then the world broke. For reasons that we haven't gotten into yet.
Okay.
And then everyone was like pushed back into the Dark Ages. So that's where we're at in the history of the world of the Wheel of Time. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's interesting that you say that about the language because.
Yeah, I'm just like most fantasy you're used to like, I mean like the way that Rosamund, I'm sorry.
No,
you
got it.
Her act, like the
Rosamund
character.
Pike. Yeah.
But the way that Rosamund Pike talks, it is fantasy-esque. It's very like mysterious and we're not going to say too much and we're going to be very serious about things. Whereas like the two bros are just like, I don't give a shit about that. Like they literally say shit at one point. And I'm like,
yeah. I think that speaks to their different like upbringings as well. Moraine comes from nobility. She is a lady and she's an Aes Sedai on top of that who have their own like customs and whatnot.
She comes from nobility.
Mm-hmm. She could have been a queen if she wanted to.
Yeah, she is a queen. Let's be real.
Yeah, I mean she is, to be clear. But then like these, rural hick kids.
Yeah. Yes.
Don't talk like that. So yeah,
it's great. It's a great contrast and great bit of dialogue.
I love
writing.
it. I love it. Okay, then we switch back to
the White Tower.
The White Tower.
We're with Rapunzel.
Who's Rapunzel? Nynaeve.
Thank you.
That's your name for her?
She's Rapunzel. Well, they're literally this scene. They're like, stay in this tower.
Okay.
Don't let anyone find you.
I got you. I thought you were gonna say something about the braids, which is also
she
very
does have a braid, which I'm like, also on brand.
Okay, so yeah, we get Moiraine, Lan, and Nynaeve in the tower. They are going to hide Nynaeve for the time being in the warders area of the tower. Nynaeve's main character trait is being pissed off at any given moment, and she wants to find her friends. And Moiraine's like, I got eyes and ears everywhere, don't worry about it. But Nynaeve is like, but will you tell me what info you get? Which is a fair question, because maybe not. Moiraine has her secrets.
Well, yeah, I mean, even there's a line later where it's like, the Aes Sedai can't lie.
Yes.
But they can certainly manipulate the truth.
Yeah. Yeah, I will get back to that in a second.
So yeah, fair question to always ask for clarification when you're talking to an Aes Sedai.
Moiraine goes on to say, do not underestimate the women in this tower. They all have their own agenda, their own ambition, and when they learn how powerful you are, they will try to use you for their own gain.
I'm going to make a quick correction. She says,
oh, you have that whole line?
Each has her own goal, her own agenda, her pride, her ambition. It's very like...
Oh, okay.
It's very... And I thought it was interesting. So nitpicking right now. Please cut this. But like the fact that she used the pronoun in front of each of them, her own goal, her agenda, her pride, her ambition, like this emphasis over and over again, not that there's these different political strings that are being played, but it's an individual her, where it's both emphasizing women have power, but that doesn't mean they're standing together.
No, definitely
not. And it was such a clever line to write it that way, where I was like, oh, that's good. I fixate on weird things.
No, please.
But this was one that I was like, oh, God damn it.
Yeah.
Gotta give them credit for that.
Yeah. No, that was great. I definitely was paraphrasing, so for sure. Yeah, and like just as a reminder, there are about 150 powerful women here. And yeah, it's a bit hazardous being in the White Tower sometimes. But Nynaeve, because she has no chill, says, well, if I'm just as powerful as you say I am, maybe you shouldn't underestimate me. Oh. And Moiraine just looks at Lan, and he just leaves the room, like, with kind of an annoyed glance at Nynaeve, like, because, bruh, my wizard BFF is just trying to help you out. Can you please chill for 5 seconds?
No.
No. Yeah, and then Moiraine gives this nice little speech about it's okay to be afraid. Like, she clocks Nynaeve instantly.
Yeah.
It's like, it's okay to be afraid. You touch the source, the one power, and now you're different compared to everyone you've ever loved. Mm-hmm. And that's difficult, but start seeing that for the gift that it is.
Yeah.
And
it's such, she meets her on her level. Like she comes down from trying to talk about politics and strategizing and making the right moves at the right time. And she's like, you're a person and you're scared.
Right, exactly. And like, I have been through this exact same thing you have, which is great. So I love that for Moiraine's character as well, of like, she is so strategy minded a lot of the time, but she knows how to connect too.
She still has a human side to her.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, if she didn't, we wouldn't like her. So that makes sense.
It's just nice because it seems like you can see the emotions on her face because Rosamund Pike is a phenomenal actor. But it is nice to also have these moments where she is allowing herself to express the emotions to another person.
Right, 100%. Because
rather than just be stoic.
Moiraine is usually very tightly controlled with her emotions. I'm
picking up on this and I've only seen an episode.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah. Which brings up a lot of opportunities for microexpressions, throwing it back to season 1. So anyway, she continues. She says, when I've found your friends, I will bring you to them, which is like a very clear, I said I can't lie. That was her. That was like a very clear truth. Like, when I find your friends, I will bring you to them. But she definitely does not say when or where. So clear, but also like leaves room for
always they're like
room.
Genies. You just have to keep refining the way that you talk to them.
Yeah, and Moiraine is the best of the best at that because she was also raised in an environment where there was like all these court politics and like very Game of Thrones. Like that was her childhood. So she knows how to play the game better than anyone else pretty much.
All right, so question. Do they think Rapunzel is the new Dovahkiin Dragonborn? I'm gonna keep calling him Dovahkiin.
Yeah. Okay. They are not counting her out as a possibility. Moiraine says I think in just the next episode after this.
It could be a guy or a girl.
Yes, that's how they're framing it.
Okay.
Moiraine says to somebody else in like the next episode, Nynaeve is not part of the 4, but she's so powerful. How can we just like discount her? So yeah, it theoretically it should be one of the 4,
right?
Rand, Egwene, Matt, and Perrin. but Nynaeva's there too. One way or another, she's insanely powerful. They say the most powerful channeler we've seen in 1,000 years. It's a phrase they repeat a lot about
intrigue.
her.
This is one of the many entries of intrigue in this episode where it's like, ooh, what's she gonna do?
Yeah.
How's she gonna use all that power?
Indeed. Okay, right. So, yeah, here's maybe a good moment to talk about the Aes Sedai magic oaths real quick.
Okay.
So we've mentioned they can't lie. The actual oath is speak no word that is not truth, which in and of itself sounds very roundabout. They can't make weapons with the one power, and they can't kill with the one power except in self-defense or defense of others, or to use against dark friends and shadow spawn. So those are the 3 Aes Sedai oaths. So you always have to pay very close attention to exactly what they are saying.
Yeah.
Because speak no word that is not truth, there are many loopholes and ways to kind of stretch that. But then if they're sworn to the dark, they can straight up lie.
They can lie.
Yeah, then they've broken their oaths and they can lie.
Spoiler alert, I have seen that.
Yeah, we start to see more of that happening in later seasons. Okay, anything else? Okay. So now we're back with the Tuatha'an, the traveling people, and Perrin and Egwene. And I don't want to say too much about the scene. I feel like it's skippable for our purposes. But for now, just the fact that we have this very strong theme throughout the show through the Tuatha'an and later the Aiel, which is another culture of the extreme ends of non-violence and violence, and what that does to people, and like, is violence ever necessary or reasonable, etc. So that is very interesting. And I appreciate that they are carrying that question on. I do find
philosophical questions around violence to be very interesting.
Yeah, this whole show is very philosophical, I would say. And that's one of the kind of big overarching questions we talk about a lot.
I do love these people though.
Don't you?
I get them for like a whole 2 minutes.
Seriously.
And they get the shit beat out of them. They do. But I love them.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Yeah. We have them for about 3 episodes this season, and they're great.
Yeah.
The wagons. The wagons are awesome. I don't know how much we saw the wagons in this episode.
Not much. You see them.
They're really
it's
cool.
A caravan.
Though. Yeah.
They're very colorful.
Yeah.
They're all very colorful in their clothing.
Yep.
But then it's, when they all link arms. It was that moment where I'm like, ah!
Yeah.
I love them. They're amazing. Okay, I don't want to spoil the scene too much.
Yeah.
I'll let you.
So basically the outcome of this scene is that the Tuatha'an with Perrin and Egwene are pulling up to the White City as well. Everyone's converging on the White City, Tarvalon, and they get stopped by the White Cloaks. And I feel like the point of this scene is to show that the White Cloaks are dicks. They suck. And they beat up defenseless people in quote unquote the name of the light. And Perrin and Egwene get caught by them, so that's basically the gist.
I was like, oh, who are these motherfuckers? And then I saw the horses in white, and I was like, oh, they're Klansmen.
Oh!
No, they're not Klansmen. They're the Spanish Inquisition, because
like
nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Something between that and the Catholic Church.
The Spanish Inquisition.
And
they are.
True.
We'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there.
They suck. They suck
hard.
So they get captured. It is, I will say real quick, the last shot of the scene when they're getting surrounded by the horses. It's that overhead shot again, and it's like the circle of the horses going around them. Girl.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, once I started like noticing the overhead shot specifically, there are at least 4 throughout this episode that have that like circular thing happening.
What?
And I'll try to point out at least one more that I have.
Oh, I can think of one.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Oh my God.
Isn't that really good? Yeah. And again, like starting and ending with a funeral, like the wheel.
Film as a language.
Film as a language, baby.
Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah. So that's a great shot. Because I remember watching it, and I was like, what is the purpose of, like, why are they circling them on horseback? That's weird. And then I looked at it and I was like, oh.
For cinema.
For cinema. Okay. Anything else to say about that?
No.
Okay. Next, we have Rand, who meets Loial, son of Aron, son of Halan. His name sings in our ears. What do you think of this guy?
He reminds me of, who's the guy from Guardians? Is it Dax?
Drax.
Where he's just very literal about
Kind
everything.
of.
No, he seems like a sweetheart.
He is a
I
sweetheart.
wrote down he has the most soothing voice I have ever heard. It
He's
does
very
sound like
deep.
ADR, so it took me out of it a bit, but it's a very soothing voice.
Yes, he's a very deep baritone.
Yeah.
Lovely and warm. So yeah, we meet Loyal. Rand and Loyal
He's not
start
an
chatting.
ogre. He's an ogier.
He's not an ogre, he's an ogier. He's very large. It's very hard for me to describe Loyal.
I don't know. He kind of looks like the Beast from Beauty and the Beast,
Kind of.
but with a face that looks like it's partially carved out of stone, very roughly, and then has been weathered away by thousands of years.
Yeah. And like a sweet blonde fro.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome.
It's a
And
nice look.
He's enormous.
He's huge.
He's like 7 feet tall.
He's taken up all
least.
the space in the bookstore.
Yeah, yeah. So they start talking. Loyal calls Rand an Aielman, which is the first time we hear about Rand's original heritage, important stuff later on. And it's a nice bit of dialogue. Loyal also calls Rand an oddity, which I love. We learn that Loyal is an ogier, as we mentioned. And down in the streets of Tar-Valon, they see the Aes Sedai parading Logain, the false dragon, through the streets to show the people the dangers of madness and hunger for power. Cue Rand seeing Matt down in the street.
I was like, oh, look, there goes Dark Keeley. Cool.
And
Okay.
Rand's like, bye, gotta go. and we leave Loyal saying, always in a rush, these humans, never taking time to properly prepare for what they're going into.
Yeah.
And I was like, on this watch, I was like, okay, obviously that's about Rand. But was it also about us? 5 episodes into this first season of The Wheel of Time, do we have no idea what we're getting ourselves into with this whole, like,
Well, Amanda?
epic fantasy series? Possibly.
Yes.
Possibly. So it felt like a little bit of commentary, but like in an amused way.
It was
know?
a very bemused
Yes.
tone.
Yeah. He is amused by the little humans.
Yes.
Rand follows Matt to this little balcony perch, and real fucking quick, we see a 5 millisecond shot of Padden Fane down in the street, who is the merchant guy from the first episode. I don't know if you caught him in the scene that I showed you. This guy with a cloak who, in the scene that I showed you of the first episode, he's like watching the battle from like behind a house or something, and like smiles and then leaves.
Nope.
Okay. We don't like him either.
Okay.
He sucks.
He's here.
But he's here. He's a recurring villain, and we saw him being shady already in the first episode in the Two Rivers attack. So anyway, just notable that they just snuck him in there, which I like. It was like, if you see him, you see him. If you don't, you don't. But
Oh, yeah.
kind of
okay.
thing. But just to show like the dark is still following them around. Like they're not safe.
They haven't escaped it.
Yeah,
I mean,
Okay.
I wouldn't assume so.
Right.
Shit's gonna go down.
for sure. Okay, now the procession. So we have Steppen on horseback again with Karene's horse again and her empty boots attached to the saddle, which is still sad. And they make a special note to do like a zoom in on the boots.
Oh. See, they know. They were like, this is gonna hit the heartstrings.
They know, but like it occurred to me in this scene of like, oh, that was intentional, like diegetically to show the people of Tar-Valon that an Aes Sedai has been killed.
Ah.
And like so I thought that was the symbolism happening there. Within
to like
the world.
add a little extra condemning.
Yeah, because I think
this.
there's like a bit in this scene where they show the like close-up shot of the boots, and then they show people on the street like kind of reacting with shock and like
that
shock
makes
and
so
horror.
much more sense now.
Yeah. So I think that was the intention there. But then we go back to Matt and Rand again watching the procession as Logain is brought through the streets in his cage, flanked by Alana and Leandrin, who are 2 Aes Sedai we've met already. And I also like with this that you get a sense of the Aes Sedai like displaying their power.
Yes.
That very much feels like the intention of this. It's like there's some pageantry happening.
This is why I think, if I may go on a little tangent.
Please.
I think this is why women being in power in this show resonates so well, because so many times to me whenever it's like a fantasy world of women in power, which almost never happens.
Right.
But
like that doesn't exist either.
take the Barbie movie, for example. When women are in power, everything's perfect and everyone gets along and everyone, like, there's no infighting and any of that stuff. But then with this, it feels realistic that, yeah, women are going to be just as shitty as men sometimes with some of this shit if they have power. We're all human. And so, yeah, like this whole pageantry and like actually showing the Aes Sedai in a bad light and women in power in a bad light, but in a way that's not misogynistic.
Right. Well, and I don't know if this is like
it's just
a bad light, but
it felt balanced.
Yeah.
It definitely, it's not a fantasy in the sense of everything's happy fantasy. It's a fantasy of like, I don't know where I'm going with this anymore. I lost the thread.
I got you. I
don't know. It was a very interesting moment for me. And I think it's, again, why I think the women being so powerful resonates so well is because they still have to choose who they are.
Yes. Oh, interesting.
There we go.
Wow.
I think that's a good way to put it. They're not just a Mary Sue.
Yes. You are unknowingly tying into big season 3 themes.
Ooh.
So
yay.
Props.
See, I always get there in the end.
Yeah. No,
you
that
just
was
gotta
awesome.
let me ramble around a bit.
For sure. Yeah, it's like a bit of pageantry. Like, they didn't have to do this.
No.
But they're
people
calling
are throwing
out
food at him.
People are throwing food at him.
Humiliating him.
They're calling out, this is what happens to men who can channel and try to hurt us and like take one of our own. So yeah, Aes Sedai power dynamics.
Yeah.
Never stops being interesting. So they bring Logain past where Rand and Mat are perched, and Logain starts maniacally laughing, which is always good. Mm-hmm. And we focus on Mat's reaction, looking very unnerved by this. Rand snaps him out of it, and Logain rolls by, apparently not laughing at all. So was that in his head?
It was in his head.
Was it in Logain's head? We don't know.
It was definitely in Dark Keely's head.
Okay. And poor Maddie says, let's make a deal. If it's either of us that's the dragon, we won't let each other turn into that. And Rand promises, and he's like, and you do the same for me. And Mat just says, you bet. But he's like,
not paying
he's like already
anymore.
gone.
This was the moment that I liked him.
Oh, tell me more.
My heart legitimately broke for this guy in this scene because it's almost like a moment of clarity where he's kind of starting to come back to himself, and he has just enough awareness to be like, you need to stop me.
Yes.
But he also can't admit what's happening.
Yeah, and in the like addiction parallel of it all, you know, that's kind of what we're doing here. That's a powerful metaphor as well.
This terror that he has of going insane and like doing bad things.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
I felt for
Poor
him
guy.
in that moment. And so now I love him.
Yeah.
And I will defend him. I know nothing what happens next.
Okay.
But I am putting all of my chips on Evil Keely.
All right, a Mat stand. See, Mat, that's easy. You can remember that one.
No.
Okay, Evil Keely
it's a lost cause.
All right. Back to the heart of the episode. We're back with the warders, who are helping Steppen into some kind of ceremonial white tunic situation. Lan enters the room and asks, how was the procession? And the two warders helping Steppen answer, because they were also in the procession. But Steppen's like stone cold, no expression, very sad looking, very dead and sad looking. But then he starts talking, and he says that he hasn't worn white since his father's funeral, but he hated his father. So he would go out and take out his anger by getting into fights, and that's how he met Karene. And he says, somehow we became friends, or rather she gave me the honor of becoming her friend. And she was so powerful already by the time she needed a warder. She could have had anyone she wanted, but she chose him. Mm-hmm. And he says, and we bonded, and I had to become worthy of her.
Oh.
Right? Wow.
It's
yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah. Just amazing. I'll keep going. We'll talk more about it in a minute. But then we get a shot of Lan kind of like behind him, listening to this, apparently lost in thought. And who do we suppose he's thinking about? And this was actually really great watching again for me after the fact and after I've seen seasons 2 and 3, because there are definitely shades of Moiraine and Lan's story in the story that Steppen just told as well, of like how they met. And like where each of them were at when they met, which will sort of come to light by the end of this season. So now looking back, I'm like, oh, that was super intentional to have this like story.
And then also, have him in the room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, now I'm more intrigue.
Okay, so anyway, so Maxim, who's one of the warders helping him to break the heaviness, is like, well, my dad tried to kill me when I was 12, so quit your whining.
Well, my dad tried to kill me. You should get over yourself, buddy.
Yeah, just, try to put some levity in the situation. Poor guy. But yeah, and then Lan basically tries to say to Stepan, if you bonded another Aes Sedai, but you can't even like finish the sentence because Stepan's immediate reply is, first you lose my reign and then tell me how easy it is to jump from one moment to the next. And it's like a slap in the face.
Oh, it was intense. That was like the first, he was like angry. Like for a brief second, he's like, I'm going to stop being sad and I'm going to be mad.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he did really like, you felt like he snapped out of it for a second.
Just for a second.
And
so he could put Lan in his place.
Yeah. And Lan doesn't say anything. He just kind of backs off. But then they all follow Stepan out the door and they walk down.
I do really like how all the warders are bonding.
Right. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. They walk down the Hall of Warders with all these other warders like lining the path, which is also great show of community among these men. But then Stepan continues on alone to the flame, like this big bowl of fire basically at the top of the tower, where he kisses Karene's ring and returns it to the fire. Another bit of Lord of the Rings there for you, but also in this case, once again, symbolizing Karene's return to the Wheel of Time.
Yeah. Because it's not just fire. There's like a ring of molten whatever
gold,
all those rings were made out of.
Yeah.
Because my assumption is multiple rings have been put into this molten ring.
Right. And new rings will be made from it in the future.
Oh.
Right.
So when
it's a cycle.
He puts it in there. And then there's an overhead shot.
And then there's an overhead shot, baby. So we end that scene on that overhead shot showing the ring of molten stuff around the flames and him standing there.
I legitimately thought he was going to jump.
Yeah. I mean, we cut, fortunately, but and he like in that scene too, he's like silent tears crying, which is the worst.
That actor.
Yeah, he killed it.
He really did.
Killed it. Yeah. So do you want to talk a little bit more about the warders here and like the warders community? Anything else that you wanted to say about that?
I just thought it was, I literally put down, oh, they're bonding.
They're bros. Yeah. I mean, this whole scene was like the whole healthy masculinity piece of it for me. Because this whole episode is kind of about showing the bond between Aes Sedai and warders, but then you're also showing the bond between the warders themselves.
Yeah.
And like they also have their own community.
Because it has to be a very isolating world,
right,
that no one else would be able to relate
no one else gets it
except for other warders.
Yeah.
And they do, and they're there for each other and they're supportive of each other.
And it's all like very emotional but still masculine and strong, like combination of strength and vulnerability. And like in that conversation where Stepan's telling this like emotional story about this person he's lost, and then the other warder like tries to counteract it a little, like with a little bit of humor, but it's not like taking away from, the emotional moment in any way. So we love emotionally intelligent men. We love men supporting each other in a wholesome and dignified way.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Woohoo.
Very powerful. Okay. And then we get the tail end of this scene, which is Moiraine sitting in her room in the tower. There's like nothing in her room, by the way, because she's never there.
Yeah, it's just a bed.
Yeah, there's a bed, and in this scene, there's 2 chairs and like a little table. She's sitting in one of the chairs.
Okay. It's like I did not take notes on this, so.
Oh, really?
This is like scene.
This might be my favorite part of the whole episode.
Oh, damn.
You might not have taken notes on it because there's no dialogue.
Yeah. I kind of completely forgot about it.
Here we go. I'm gonna break it down. So she's sitting in there in her room. I also took a screenshot of this because the light in this shot is exquisite. It's amazing. I don't know what they were doing, but it looks great. And she's sitting there. Lan comes in. He's presumably going to tell her, like, the ceremony is done and whatever. But once again, they're going to have a whole conversation with just their eyes. And yeah, the microexpressions are microexpressioning. So he walks in and closes the door. She's just sitting there. He goes over to her and she just like gives him this tiny little nod. And there's like almost maybe tears in her eyes. Nobody's saying a damn word. And he just goes over to her and kneels down next to her like a knight before his queen. Okay, it's giving medieval knights and royalty vibes to me. And her arm is like on this chair and he just kneels down and like sets his arm over hers, like his hand on her forearm. And then she puts her other hand over his. And they're just kind of existing for a minute and the music drops out. The music drops out. Simultaneously, they turn and look at each other. And he just kind of breathes out and looks down at her ring, her Aes Sedai ring, and then it cuts.
I have no memory of this scene.
I'm going to have to show this to you.
I cannot believe I forgot this.
I'm going to have to show this to you because it's amazing. It's like, this can't be longer than 10 seconds, 15 seconds tops. 0 words between them, only looks. And once again, I feel like they had a whole heart-to-heart conversation with like impossible depth of emotion. And bitch, no hint of anything sexual between them whatsoever. They're just like friends.
Yes.
They're just besties.
Yeah,
they have very strong feelings about each other.
You're going to yell at me, but I watched this whole episode on my phone.
I was going to text you and be like, don't watch this on your phone. No.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
I'm only logged in to my sister's Amazon account on my phone.
You gotta change that.
Changing her passwords. So I couldn't log in anywhere else.
I can think of a very easy way to fix this for you. It would be to call your sister.
She was in school.
Call her anyway.
I call her so often because she resets her passwords constantly.
Because she keeps getting locked out or what?
I don't even know.
Okay.
I think they keep switching to who has the plan, if it's her or Hector, so that way they can just get whatever discount with different emails and credit cards.
Oh wow, that's a game.
Yeah, so they keep changing it on me.
Okay.
So all I had was my phone. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Maybe I can give you mine. Yeah. So that's one of my fave scenes. No talking, just looks. Okay. Back to the White Cloaks.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get into the Spanish Inquisition here. I assume
this is why it's not the KKK. This is why it's the Spanish Inquisition.
Indeed. Okay, back to the White Cloaks. They're scrubbing Egwene down, which isn't necessarily violent, but feels just as violating and terrible.
It feels it
gives you the heebie-jeebies.
So nasty.
Yeah, and they got like these brushes and they're like very aggressively brushing her skin and brushing her hair, and then they like put this white like dress on her, blah blah blah. And now we get Child Valda, worst of the worst, White Cloaks, interrogating her.
Bitch.
You're not wrong. Okay.
Yeah, they bring her into this tent.
Yep.
Everything's white.
Everything's white.
Dressed in white.
Yes.
He's eating this perfectly roasted pig that has been presented immaculately on a plate, and he takes a tiny little refined cut out of its hindquarter and puts it on his plate. And I hate him so much.
I'm glad you're describing this because I didn't write any of this down.
I don't have it written down. I just seared in my mind because I was just blinded with rage at this point.
It's visceral.
He's
visceral.
So pompous. He's such a little bitch, and that's why he's just bitching. I know. Anyway.
Yeah. So we get this guy, worst of the worst, interrogating her about being a channeler, which the White Cloaks believe is basically a sin against the light.
Should mention too, and this is also why it's the Spanish Inquisition, they tie her to the chair.
They do.
And like
with bloody ropes.
She's in white, right? Again, everything's immaculate in this place. And then they tie her to the chair and the ropes are bloody.
Yep.
And I'm just like, the fuck, man.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Not great.
No.
Not great.
But yeah, he starts interrogating her.
He starts interrogating her because the White Cloaks believe that channeling is a sin against the light, and they burn any woman who can channel at the stake, which we've seen in previous episodes, but not this one. So a not subtle allusion to the witch trials, which reminds me, yes, it is still the year of the witch, baby! But this scene is terrifying. As you said, Valda's eating his dinner and interrogating at the same time, which is like a gross thing he does. We've also seen him do this already in another episode. This is his shtick.
Such a good way to represent this person's a true psychopath is to have them casually eating while something horrific is happening.
That's a really great point. You are absolutely correct. And by far the most important part about this scene is that Egwene at first tries to reason with him and persuade him to let them go. But then when he threatens her, she's like, fine, you can kill me, but I will come back in my next life and split you from head to tail like the pig you are.
You know what? I believe her.
That's our girl right there. That's Egwene. Yeah, it's a great moment for her. Velda starts slicing Perrin's back open, which is not great. And Perrin's eyes glow golden.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. And he explains that according to White Cloak theology, humans are on this earth for a reason and are meant to struggle for everything they have. And no one is meant to hold so much power. So he says, you witches make a mockery of our very existence, walking like gods amongst men. The idea that the one power comes from anywhere other than the dark is absurd. So I have been called to stamp it out, woman by woman by woman. He sucks so bad. He's the worst. He tells Egwene to channel and he'll kill her but let Perrin go, or don't channel and he'll kill Perrin but let her go.
Yeah.
Which is some like witch trial warped logic, you know? Like if you drown,
we're gonna
then
tie
you're innocent.
rocks to your feet and throw you in the river.
Yeah.
If you drown, well then we know you weren't a witch.
Yeah. And then he leaves them to chat about that.
Yes.
So
there is a shot that you failed to mention.
Oh, please.
Which is he has a little display with a ton of Aes Sedai rings.
Yes.
And I did not have the context that he was burning witches before this.
Now you understand.
Now I understand. Mm-hmm. I saw that and I went, oh. And the thing is, I think he draws attention to it because he's like threatening her, right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
As he's walking over to start cutting up the back of, I don't have a nickname for him.
Oh no.
I don't even know.
Oh, Perrin?
Perrin. As he goes over to cut up Perrin's back.
Wolf boy.
God damn it, you spoiled it. I said he's very like canthropic later. So
that's a good word too.
But yeah, he like, I think he intentionally calls attention to all the rings that he has. Because for me, that was especially you just had the scene of this guy ceremoniously putting the ring into this fire. It's a very sacred thing that just happened. Obviously, this ring is important. That's where it belongs when the Aes Sedai dies. And then you just see this and you know that he's getting tortured and you're all just like, fuck!
Yeah.
You know, it's very intense.
Yes, very intense and very intentional, I think. Like this episode, among others, feels so intentionally connected in that way of like, okay, we have all these diverse storylines happening and like everybody's in different spots, but there are these threads that connect everybody.
Yeah. And then you're not getting tonal whiplash either.
Right, exactly. So back to the tower with Nynaeve. Stepan knocks on her door and asks if she has any more tea for sleeping. And he looks like shit, by the way. He's like carrying around some kind of bottle of liquor. And like unsubtly tries to hide it behind his back at one point.
Oh yeah, he's not subtle at all.
No, but he doesn't care. And yeah, so since Nynaeve is a wisdom, like this herbalist healer person, she has this tea, I guess. So she asks him if he's having trouble sleeping, and he says, just as he's about to drift off, the pain goes away. And Nynaeve says, good, but he says, no, that's the only thing I have left of her. I'm not ready to let it go yet. To which she says, don't worry, I promise the pain will never go away. So really nice, tidy little scene of like, okay, we know where Stepan's at, but also like, here's something else about Nynaeve. Like she has lost people and can understand where he is right now.
Right.
On some level.
She's speaking from experience there. To a degree, obviously, she doesn't understand the bond.
Yeah. Okay, so unfortunately, she gives him the tea and he leaves the door open when he leaves. And Nynaeve decides it's a good idea to wander out into the tower, even though she was specifically told
Rapunzel.
Not to wander off. But Nye wouldn't be Nye if she wasn't stubborn as all hell and mostly ignored everyone's advice except her own. Mm-hmm. So she goes out into the Hall of Warders, and who shows up but Leandrin, what's your nickname for Leandrin? The Red.
I just said that she's evil by season 3. That's my only footnote about her. She goes to talk to this person who's evil by season 3.
Okay. That's funny.
Spoiler alert, sorry. I saw the opening scene.
Yeah.
I know what happens.
It's not a huge, I mean, she's a bitch the whole time. So I don't know how much of a spoiler it really is, but some reactors I watch refer to her as Kristen Chenoweth. Which I think might be just the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I do like that.
Kristen Chenoweth, or what's the other one? It's like they say Devlin Chenoweth or something. They both work.
Oh my god.
I like Kristen Chenoweth. Because she has this very like sharp jawline.
Oh yeah, it's
like
very distinct skull shape.
Yeah,
I don't know how to describe it.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So Leandrin pulls up to Nynaeve, and she does have a sick belt in this scene. Just wanted to make that note. We might talk a little bit more about costumes later, but sick belt. Leandrin starts chatting her up about the warder statues and like White Tower stuff, and Nynaeve is like, but Reds don't have warders. No, never, because you hate men. Is that a question or a statement? And then Leandrin says, women hold the one power, but men still control much of this world. Mm-hmm. And they are rarely kind to little girls who show a spark of being greater than who they are. Ow. First of all, banger line.
Yeah.
Banger line.
Yeah.
Second of all, Leandrin is a snake, but this is the first crack in her facade that we see. And like an indication of there is a reason why she is the way she is. Clearly something happened to her, and it was probably from men in some kind of power situation.
When she was probably little.
When she was a child.
Yikes.
So, you know, as much as we've already seen Child Valda and the White Cloaks like torturing or attempting to torture Egwene, this is kind of hammering home, like, even though there's powerful women in this world, this is not a world without misogyny also. Mm-hmm. So that is an important theme that is going to come up again. Okay. Anything else to say about that?
No, I think it's just another reason why I find that women being in power resonates so much with me in the show. Again, it's not just a fantasy. There's realism to it, and like you're saying, misogyny still exists.
Right, and it's not like women have power and men don't. It's like women have power in some situations, men have power in some situations.
Yeah, and that seems, you know, feminism wherever it's at today, wherever you want to think it's at. Yeah, women can achieve positions of power, but that doesn't make them powerful necessarily.
Yeah, or all powerful.
Yeah, there's still a lot of bad shit that can happen because of shitty misogynistic culture.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we go back to Rand and Matt, aka Target Legolas and Dark Keely. Ooh, I remembered both of them. And yay, Loyal found Nynaeve and brought her to them. We just...
This was such a hard cut.
Yeah, kind of was.
Where I was like, did I miss a scene?
No.
We
just have to keep her moving.
Talking to the red lady? And now... Okay.
We just gotta keep her moving. That all happened off screen. We got no time.
No, apparently not. She's just there.
Yeah, she's there. Okay, but yay, we're reunited. Matt is looking very possessed. Very possessed.
Yeah.
Rand thinks Matt can channel, but there's no proof of that yet. And like a bunch of idiots, they all decide collectively not to tell Moiraine.
I'm like, y'all know.
Right.
Y'all know. She's literally like, show me your tongue. And he goes, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
And they go, do you think he's going evil?
Right.
I don't know.
Let's
just keep it a secret for now.
They're idiots.
He's evil.
They're idiots and they're young and they don't trust Moiraine yet.
No.
Which is kind of fair, but also she's done nothing but protect them since she was in the Two Rivers. So...
Yeah, I don't know. But I can understand as a kid, you're like, something bad is happening to my friend.
Yeah.
But I don't want something worse to happen.
For sure. So, yeah, it's like, I have some sympathy, but I'm also like, guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk more about this later. Okay. And then they talk about Rand.
I actually legitimately want to watch this show, but just so I know Matt's arc.
I think it's a good one. I think it's a pretty good one.
Oh,
yeah.
Intrigue.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Rand and Nynaeve end up talking kind of outside the room, and they're talking about Egwene for a minute and how when she was 10, she had an infection called breakbone fever. And little baby Egwene held on while her own body tried to break itself in half from this fever, which is a very visceral...
the way that it's described, because it's like, it's called bone break. Breakbone. Because you will break your bones from this.
It's like your muscles seize so strongly that your arms and legs break themselves in half.
Yes, yeah. It's just, it's such a nasty description.
Yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, so Nynaeve is telling the story about Egwene, and she says, but in the morning, the fever had broken, not her. Egwene is many things, but above all else, she is unbreakable. I mean, where's the lie? Where's the lie? So yeah, I love that little story, and it's especially nice to hear again now that I know stuff that has happened in later seasons. And I can confirm she really is unbreakable.
Well, it's a good thing to introduce too, because it hard cuts back to the
Egwene. Hard cut back to Egwene and Perrin in the White Cloak camp. Egwene is trying to channel to get a knife on the table, a steak knife that bitch was using to eat.
Thank you.
And Perrin is like, stop, if one of us has to die, it should be me, because I accidentally killed my wife in episode 1.
Yeah, he confesses. And I did see the scene where he killed his wife.
Right. Yeah. It's very sad.
It is
poor man has been carrying this around for now at least, we had that month time skip, so I don't know, 6 weeks.
Yeah. And it's
something like that.
It's so sad because, like, when it happened to in the first episode, when I saw it, like, I legitimately gasped, which I don't do often.
Yeah, it's very
watching TV.
Shocking.
And it's one of those things where it's like, of course something like this would happen in a battle, but you never actually see it happen on, like, TV and movies and stuff. And so when it does, you're like,
yeah,
no, like, can you go there? Is that allowed? And it is. And it's very sad. And he feels so guilty.
And it has lasting effects on him.
How could it not, though?
Right.
Because, like, that's what I was thinking, where she was, like, telling him, like, this isn't your fault. Like,
yeah, you
will see that one day this wasn't your fault. And, like, but, like, how could he ever come to terms with that? Because he did do it.
I know.
Oh, anyway.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, Perrin has, like, the whole violence thing I was talking about earlier, that whole theme. Perrin is the, like, main character that struggles with that the most. And, like,
understandable.
That is basically why, or the show introduces that as the inciting incident as to why that is.
When he did resort to violence for a very legitimate reason, it led to one of the worst things that's ever happened in his life.
Yeah. Oof. And he has, like, a bit of, like, in the heat of battle, a bit of, like, rage control issues.
Oh,
so that's also part of his, like, journey of, like, learning to harness that and not, like, wig out. Right. Even when, everything is crazy around you. Okay. So that's all happening. So Valda comes back in and starts slicing Perrin's back up again, which I also hate this. Like he's basically doing a grid pattern. He's, like, being very methodical about it. He's just, like, slicing rows down his back, and then he starts going crossways to do, like, a checkerboard.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God.
It's a nasty shot. It's a close-up of the back. And obviously I know it's not a real person, but the depth to which the knife goes in.
Yeah, and they don't linger on it. They don't, like... Oh. I think that's what separates the show.
It's haunting, though.
Yeah, I think that's what separates the show from, like, Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it doesn't
they don't linger.
Joy in the, like, gratuitousness of gore.
Right.
But it still is like, it is.
But it's like, you're feeling it. Yeah, so he is doing that. That's when Egwene is like... It was an accident, Perrin. It might take you your whole life to realize that, but you will. And at this point, we also start to hear some wolf howling in the background.
Yes. And his eyes are going yellow, and I'm like, he's a werewolf.
We're getting there. And Egwene channels a sad little fireball at Valda.
And I was like, look at her, she's doing it.
I know, she's doing it. And then it's like, and he's like, ha ha ha, it'll take more than that to kill me. But then it was a distraction.
Yes.
Because Egwene looks over at Perrin's ropes, and we see, like, a little bit of weaves, and the ropes burn away. And then Perrin is released, and he starts going, like, full golden eyes wolfman at Valda, who starts to freak out. And then Egwene gets free and stabs him from behind in the, like, shoulder neck area.
It was so, I'm kind of glad it was her that stabbed him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Right. It was like Perrin it was like they just did, like, back and forth distraction.
Yes.
For each other.
Exactly.
So yeah, she stabs him. He falls to the ground. She grabs the Aes Sedai rings.
She does.
On the table, and then they make their escape. And they get outside, and there's wolves everywhere attacking White Cloaks, but not attacking Perrin and Egwene.
Where'd they come from? We don't know.
We don't know. Perrin says the wolves won't hurt them, and they run off.
And the wolves don't hurt them.
The wolves don't hurt them.
Because I was like, it helped when you start hearing the dogs barking and his eyes are going yellow. I was like, this very lycanthropic right now.
Yeah.
What are we hinting at? Again, intrigue.
Yeah.
Makes me want to watch more.
Right, exactly.
And also, I thought she couldn't channel. She was trying to channel. She couldn't channel. Suddenly, she's burning ropes off of people? Mm-hmm. What?
Yeah.
Intrigue.
Yes. So, yeah, in episode 2, I believe, we do learn that Egwene can channel. Like, Egwene has access to the one power. She's just, like, at the very beginning of being able to access it.
See, I thought she had never done anything before.
So I don't think before this moment she has, technically. She has, so in episode 2, she has a scene with Moiraine where Moiraine's, like, telling her, you can channel and whatever. She channels a little bit, but it's for like a microsecond. And then just enough to prove to her that she can do it.
Okay.
And then, so now we know Egwene has the one power. There's a great line where, so in the beginning of the show, we see Nynaeve and Egwene listening to the wind, which is part of like Nynaeve's responsibilities, I guess, as the wisdom. They have women who can listen, quote unquote, listen to the wind. And I think it's supposed to be like figure out if there's danger coming. It's like kind of shown as some kind of like extrasensory thing of like being able to sense, is there danger coming, bad weather, I don't know. But then when Moiraine ends up talking to Egwene, they're talking about this like listening to the wind thing, and Moiraine's like, Egwene, you don't listen to the wind listens to you, as like you have the one power.
Oh,
yeah. So
okay.
It's a good moment. But yeah, we did know technically that Egwene can channel before this, but we haven't seen her do it yet. So that was the first time.
Because for me, I'm like, oh fuck, she's dead. She can't channel. She's fucking dead. She better figure it out quick. I don't think she can though.
Yeah. So the whole stakes of the scene is she can channel, and if he finds out, then
See, I thought she was just fucked no matter what.
I mean, they kind of are fucked no matter what, like between the two of them.
Yeah.
But yeah. Back to the White Tower once again.
Sad dude being extra sad still.
Not quite yet. We get a little conversation / face off between Leandrin and Moiraine.
Oh, it was
Leandrin,
very, very brief.
Kristen Chenoweth, yes.
Yeah.
Which I loved. Again, this is like the power dynamics at play. So they're in the White Tower. Moiraine is walking down the hallway. Leandrin pulls up on her and is like, do you even remember where you sleep here?
Yeah.
Like they start kind of chit-chatting, like Leandrin's kind of making fun of her. I don't know. But then Leandrin brings up Nynaeve and is like, where did you stash her? Even though she knows perfectly well where Nynaeve is. And Moiraine just says, no doubt she's resting after her long journey. And and Leandrin...
I mean, she's not lying.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a lie. And yeah, it's like phrased in such a way that it's like, no doubt she's resting. You know, it's like ambiguous.
Yeah, like it's I don't know, but no doubt she's taking a rest.
Right. An Aes Sedai truth lie, as I like to say. And Leandrin like is very up in Moiraine's space and like pushes a piece of her hair back and like touches her face a little bit. And it's like, oh, you're looking a little worse for wear too, sister. And just from that, I was like, do y'all have any history? What's going on there? But anyway, she's like, the trouble with you being away all the time is you won't be here to guide Nynaeve when she eventually becomes a novice. And Moiraine's like, and you think she'll choose Red, the girl who spontaneously healed everyone when she first channeled? I suggest you look for her converts elsewhere. So I skipped over a lot of dialogue there, but the point is, the game is afoot.
Yes,
baby. And we're building this relationship between Leandrin and Nynaeve, which is still unfolding in season 3 and hopefully beyond. And I find it very interesting.
Yeah, that's right. She was at the start of season 3 in the opening battle.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah, they every time they're in a scene together, I find it very intriguing because Nynaeve is so damn stubborn and so damn powerful. And Leandrin is a snake, but she also knows what it means to be a woman with power and like takes that very seriously.
Yeah.
And there's like part of her that wants Nynaeve to succeed because of that and like be the most powerful channeler in 1,000 years, to like own that because she values her own power so much and like what it has given her in her life.
Oh, that's an interesting dynamic.
It's fascinating. And again, like as we've discussed, there are so many characters in this show, and they do such a good job of like anyone who has multiple interactions together, fascinating. Like always interesting. Like obviously we've talked about Moiraine and Lan. Yeah, Moiraine and like each of the kids is very interesting. Yeah, some of the kids' relationships to each other. Rand and Matt, as you said. Rand and Egwene. Everyone's got like a little interesting sub story, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, now we go to Lan and Steppen, which I believe this is what you were referencing before.
Oh, wait. No, I did have a note. Sorry.
Okay.
I didn't. Okay, because I have a note that Steppen was being sad. And then I have a note about the conversation between Rosamund and Kristen Chenoweth.
Yeah.
Which there was
It's too good of a nickname to not use. Go ahead.
There was a line that said Rosamund has very powerful enemies in the tower, even though she's like never there.
Oh, that might be later.
Something along those lines.
Yeah. No, I think that's a later scene. That's a different character.
Sorry.
I'm going to get there. Okay. There. Yeah.
Anyway, Steppen being sad.
Steppen being sad.
Thank you.
I'm going to turn the lights on.
Yeah, it's getting really dark.
Alrighty.
We are going again.
We've had a chocolate break. Okay, so we're back.
Very necessary for what's about to happen.
Very necessary. Yeah, we needed the oxytocin and the sugar. We go to Lan and Steppen is making an offering with these little statues and incense to ward off the Forsaken. This is the first Forsaken name drop in the show, I believe. They're a big deal in subsequent seasons. He wants to ward off Ishamil, the father of lies, because he needs to see clearly. So, remember that name, maybe, for future reference.
This all went over my head because I'm like, oh, this just seems like a bunch of spiritual nonsense. He's just going through his process. This is relevant?
Oh, yeah. Big relevant. Big relevant. Yeah, he very specifically says Ishamil. So Ishamil. Yeah.
Not a shaman.
No. What? Ishamael, I guess maybe is the better way to pronounce it. Like Raphael. Ishamael. Yeah. It's a name.
Got it.
Okay. Anyway, so in this little conversation too, we learned that the Forsaken sold their souls to the Dark One in exchange for eternal life, even if the last dragon sealed them away. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Okay?
What does any of this mean?
It just hold on to that one. And the scene ends with Lan saying he'll stay with Steppen until morning, and Steppen looks very sad. Anything else to add?
He's just so sad.
He's just so sad. This poor man. You feel so bad for him.
You really
this whole
do.
episode. Like, he just kills it with all of this emotion and depression and grief. Okay, back to Moiraine with Alana this time. I think this is what you were talking about. So they're in Moiraine's room.
Yes. Okay, this is what I was talking about.
Yep. And they're chit-chatting on Moiraine's bed. Moiraine asks, do you think Steppen will accept your offer? Presumably, Alana offered him to bond with her. Mm-hmm. And I guess her other warders as well. She has 2 other warders who we met in the scene before.
Oh, that's right. Because they did make a comment at one point where he was like, I've never bonded with
I'm gonna get back to that later.
2 men.
I'm gonna get back to that later. Yeah. So Alana and her warders are definitely in a polyamorous relationship. So I'm not sure how it would work to just be like, hey, Steppen,
want to join?
But okay, whatever. Alana says she doesn't know. And she says, when a warder loses their Aes Sedai, the pain is so deep, it's almost like he swallowed her death, which is a bar. And Moiraine looks very thoughtful about this, but also sad and a little scared. And again, Rosamund Pike just like doing the most with nothing at all. Mm-hmm. And she says kind of out of nowhere, I read once there's a way to release the bond.
She does say that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Alana clocks her immediately and is like, reaches over to her and is like, don't do that. You know, Lan has nothing to worry about. You'll be here with us for a long time yet. And you can see Moiraine like try to put her mask back on, like try not to have any reaction to that after this like 5-second bit of vulnerability. But Alana's still clocking her and is like, what are you guys doing out there anyway? And Moiraine completely sidesteps the question and is like, unless you've made it a habit to use this as your dining room, because Alana's eating an orange or something. I assume you have another reason for coming here. And yeah, this is when Alana says, the Amerlin is returning from Camelin, which is another city, and she wants to see us in the hall to answer for Logain. She's out for blood. And Moiraine says, Suan Sanche is many things, but she's never turned on a sister without cause. So this is like Wizard Pope.
Oh.
Is who this is,
okay.
who they're talking about. The leader of the Aes Sedai. And Alana says, Moiraine's only one of the only sisters strong enough to challenge her, meaning the Aes Sedai Wizard Pope. But Moiraine has no interest in the seat. She never has. And Alana's like, yeah, no one has any idea what you're interested in. And she warns her that Liandrin's power is growing too. And for someone who basically doesn't live here anymore, you have two very powerful enemies in this tower.
That's what she says.
Be careful. And Moiraine's basically just like, okay, thanks, you can leave now.
Okay, bye. How about I make one more enemy?
Yeah.
No.
But like Alana knows her, like they're friends.
Yeah, they seem like they're actually
yeah.
friends. I mean, they were chilling on the bed.
Right. It's very much like, I have a note about this later, like they're having this whole conversation on Moiraine's bed. At one point, Moiraine lays down on one side of it. And
feels
Alana
kind of like girl slumber party
Exactly. So it's very intentional, I think, to show that they're comfortable around each other.
But even with someone she's so comfortable with, she still keeps a lot of secrets. Yeah. So, yeah, she's like, thanks, you can leave. But Alana still has to get in one last parting shot. So she says, one day you'll have to trust someone with your secrets or they'll scour you from the inside out, bare as this room. Night. It's a wide shot of the room and you just see the bed.
Yeah,
nothing else.
Moiraine just says nothing. And when Alana leaves, she goes over to this painting on her wall, which is like the only decorative thing in the whole room. It's like, has like a little metal door, like the frame has like this little door on it that opens and reveals the painting. So she just goes and opens it and like looks at the painting. And that's the end of the scene. Any other thoughts?
Nope.
That whole like ending moment is like foreshadowing for the next episode basically, but
okay.
Yeah. Okay. I talked about them hanging out in the bed. Cool.
I got my next note. It's not a fun note.
No. This is where all fun of the episode ends. If there was any fun,
was there anything?
If there was any fun to begin with, we are fully out of the fun zone. So, back to Lan and Steppen, and they're drinking tea and sitting on the floor for some reason. And Steppen's like, this is where he's like, I don't know about the bond with Alana and Ivan and Maxim, which are Alana's warders, because I've never been with a man before. And Lan just holds up 2 fingers and goes, 2 men. But hey, there's a first time for everything. And then Steppen's like, hey Lan, but what about Nynaeve? And Lan's like, nope, nothing's happening. But Steppen's kind of like goading him, and he's like, oh, she channeled the first time to save your life and has barely spoken to me since. Steppen is like, yeah, because she knows she's falling in love with you. And Lan says, that's a bad idea for her.
Yeah, okay. So he was implying that Éowyn stand-in is falling in love with the Strider stand-in. Yes?
I'm trying to think if I would say there's a Nynaeve Éowyn parallel. I don't know. Because Nynaeve isn't a princess.
I'm only comparing her to Éowyn at this point because she has a crush on Strider.
Fair enough. I'm
assuming it's not going to work out.
You don't know.
Scandal.
Okay. Okay, so Lan says that's a bad idea for her. Steppen replies, love's usually a bad idea. Still, we allow it to happen or this life would be intolerable. Another banger and a half.
Truly.
But Lan's still not having it, and he says, well, I can tolerate a lot. So just getting like a little bit more of his stubbornness. On the spectrum of stubbornness between like Nynaeve And Lan and Moiraine, like, they're all high up on that scale. And yeah, he says, I can tolerate a lot. And we get almost a close-up of him sipping the tea. And Stepan just says, I know. And we cut. So did you know what was happening here?
It clicked now.
Because you were watching on your phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I see what happened.
Yeah, okay. Anything else to add about that?
No.
Okay. So we come back and it's dawn. Lan wakes up on the floor and looks at the cup in his hand. He's like out of it, and he finds the tea packet that Nynaeve gave Stepan earlier in the episode. And you can see him starting to put pieces together. And he looks over to the wall, and there's a knife missing.
Yep.
From this like knife holder thing,
Knows.
which is also circular shaped.
It is.
I realized on the fireplace mantle. So he runs out of the room. Slow-mo runs.
Oh, we know where this is going.
Slow-mo runs through the tower, back up to the Hall of Warders, where we see Stepan kneeling on the floor, facing away from Lan and us. Mm-hmm. And the music here is also very intense and haunting and beautiful. And Lan just walks up to him slowly, and we see that he's stabbed himself in the gut.
Seppuku.
Yes, and there's...
Seppuku?
Seppuku, yeah. And there's blood on the floor in front of him, and he's just like kneeling there dead. And Lan just drops to the ground next to him and like rests his arm on Stepan's shoulder and just kind of sits there with him. Once again, no dialogue. And having seen this again, I think they made a point of it throughout this episode to show Lan often like putting his hand on Stepan's shoulder or on his arm, like physically doing that. And then we get to this last shot where he just kind of like puts his arm on his shoulder and like leans there for a second. And it's very sad, but it's about to get worse.
Yeah, and then before we get worse, it's just interesting too to see, if we're talking about healthy masculinity, seeing men sit with other men and their emotions. Yeah. Even in this horrific moment, he's still saying, I am going to sit with you in this moment. Yep. Oh. Yeah, and it's like, it's not what Lan wanted. No. But he's not like angry or... No. He's just sad, but... also grieving. But also kind of accepting in a way. Yeah. It's an acceptance of like, I don't know, the emotions themselves. It's being like, yeah, okay, gotta feel this now too. Right. I don't know. Which is a big deal for Lan, because in the book, he is stoic to the extreme. Oh, yeah? Yeah. So in the show, they've done a really good job of, like, yes, he is still very stoic, but he also has emotions and, like, a lot of depth underneath the surface. Same with Moiraine, I think. So, okay. Now, we cut to our last scene. Very hard cut to all the warders wearing the white robes, which we established before is what they wear for mourning instead of black. So in this world, they wear white. And Stepan is laid out on a table in the middle with all these warders around and some Aes Sedai, including Moiraine and Alana, and Nynaeve is there too. And Lan is called forward from the group of warders, and some like senior warder says, lay your hand on him, relieve us of our grief. So Lan goes over and puts his hand on Stepan's chest and kneels down, and the senior warder starts doing this chest thump with his hand, like a rhythm, and all the other warders start doing it too. And I think the music cuts out here. If there was music at all in the scene, it cuts out here. Oh, there's a guy doing like some kind of chanting situation. Yeah. It's like what's it called? Tibetan throat singing or something. Yeah, the throat singing. Yeah, it's where you can do like the overtone singing. So a guy's doing that, and then they're doing this chest thump thing. Yeah, so everyone starts doing it, no music, and Lan just like slowly looks up at Moiraine, and she's like almost crying, but holding it together, barely. And then he's crying and doing this like guttural scream of pain and grief. And everyone else is looking very stone-faced. But Nynaeve is almost losing it. And we do actually see Moiraine start to cry a little bit. So the idea of this like ceremony, as far as I can tell, is
Lan has been chosen to like channel the grief of the group and like release it into, I don't know, the space. So while everyone else is like very stone-faced, not emoting, he's emoting the most
for everyone.
And yeah, he screams, you know, he's like, Daniel Henney is like doing crazy work here. And yeah, he's like crying and screaming. And then we like get one more overhead zoom out at the end here.
Yeah.
Over Stefan's body and Lan kind of falling over him crying. And then we cut to black there. So it is very powerful.
Yes.
And very moving and very emotional and like hell of a way to end the episode.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I got no more words than that.
Yeah. And I think it's obviously very moving, but also like, yeah, kind of the fact of stoic Lan, like unleashing all of this emotion that he usually keeps very tightly under control.
Yeah.
And equally stoic Moiraine, feeling the echo of his emotions because he's letting all this rip and like visibly struggling. Like she's, of everyone else in the room, maybe naive, but of everyone else in the room, she's the only one who's like also kind of being a little bit emotional, and it's because she's feeling his emotions. So we're getting that echo of them once again, the effect that has on them.
Huh. I didn't clock that. And I think that's one of the drawbacks for me coming in cold and seeing this is like I haven't had enough time with the two of them to see the bond to that depth or to understand how stoic they usually are. So it doesn't hit as hard for me seeing it. It's still a very emotional scene, very intense, but yeah.
Yeah, by this point,
a lot of subtext I didn't pick up on.
For sure. And by this point in the season, they've definitely hammered that home. Yeah, this is episode 5. We've had 4 episodes with them already. Moiraine and Lan are, for all intents and purposes at this point, the main characters of the show. Like the main characters, as I've said, there's 7 main characters, but we're really focusing on them in season 1. So it makes sense that we're doing this at this point. And this is going to have effects, you know, there's a lot of foreshadowing here of things that are going to happen to them at the end of season 1 and beyond as well. So yeah, poor Stefan. He left us too soon.
Yeah.
I really liked that guy. They really just introduced him
just
in one episode.
Make him suffer.
And then killed him in the next one.
Yeah.
But he did a great job.
He did a phenomenal job.
Peter Franzen, the actor, amazing. So yeah, and I think this episode overall, to this day, there are not many moments in the show that rival that last scene for like pure emotional intensity and like emotional intensity for like a solid 7 to 10 minutes maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
So I find that notable at least. And I like that, you know, in this episode we get to see more of the warder culture and how they handle death and grief and mourning one of their own. And yeah, this like idea that
the warder culture to me was interesting.
Very interesting. Yeah. And like the idea that when it's one of theirs, they're doing this like ceremony where they have like one person represent the group to like emote the grief, which I was like, I don't know how healthy that is, but it is interesting.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it goes back to that like combination of like masculine strength, you know, stoicism, but then also this like emotional vulnerability and like combining the two. So yeah.
Takes a real man to show emotions.
Truly. Honestly. Truly does. Any other overall thoughts on the episode?
I mean, I do think I was missing a lot of subtext, just not understanding some of the dynamics and stuff. But that aside, very emotional.
Yeah.
And like I said, a lot of intrigue for me. Whether that's stuff of like what did happen in the past episodes that I missed, but mostly, where is this going?
Yep.
What's going to happen next?
Yeah.
Is Rapunzel going to become super all powerful?
Okay. I was going to say, what's the thing that's most intriguing you right now?
Dark Keeley.
Oh, right.
Still,
of course.
My number one.
Our friend Matt.
I am a stan. I swear by this.
Okay. All right.
He can do no wrong. I'm kidding. No, but I'm genuinely interested to see where his storyline goes. And then, Rapunzel.
Yep.
I think she's super fascinating.
That's Nynaeve for all of you at home.
And then Egg.
What?
Egg.
Oh, Egwene.
Thank you.
Wait, is that her name in your notes? Oh no. Okay. I mean, it is in her name.
I'm so bad at names, but I remembered the EG.
Yeah.
So
it's a unique name.
I got partway there. I'm so curious about her too. And like, is she going to embrace this connection that she has with the one source? And then werewolf boy, lycanthropy guy, what's his deal?
Yeah. Have I mentioned that everyone is interesting? Have I mentioned that everyone has a fully fleshed out character?
Yeah.
You know? And like, we are moving in multiple directions at once.
It is, yeah, when you put it in that way, like, it is actually honestly
insane.
Yeah.
Insane. Like, we talked about before.
Because like the only other show that I can think that does it on this scale is Game of Thrones.
Right.
And that falls off a fucking cliff.
Right.
But you have a lot of characters with a lot of interesting stories, all moving in different directions, but also
then some,
in the same direction.
Yeah. But then some are like also very one note, like Joffrey comes to mind. You know, like villains. I think that's another strength of this show. We haven't seen any villains in this episode, but once we start getting into the villains are all interesting too.
Bitch wasn't a villain?
Oh, Bitch is a villain. Sorry.
He's an absolute villain.
Yeah. He I guess is a little bit more one note, but it's like about the ideology.
Yeah.
So I get that. But anyway, not that I'm trying to throw Game of Thrones under the bus. Whatever.
It's we'll see if we ever talk about that.
Right.
Be an interesting conversation.
Okay. Yeah. Do you think based on this episode you would watch more?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I also told you that after I saw both the battle scenes you showed me, and I haven't watched more.
I mean, once again, I might have to force you to watch it with me.
See, I would do that.
And like, that will be more fun for both of us, I'm sure.
And we can react in real time.
We could. We could.
Sidebar, it is so hard to watch WandaVision together because all I want to do is talk about it the whole time we're watching it.
Yeah, we might just have to watch Wheel of Time on our own so that we can do that. And then we could do like a season roundup or something.
That would be good.
Yeah.
That could work.
That would work.
Yeah. Side note to the side note.
Okay.
Never go see a movie with us unless you like talking.
It's true. We're really bad. We're really bad. Although we tend to pick theater times where like almost no one else is in the theater with us.
Yes. Yeah.
So we try to be the least annoying amount we can.
Yeah, true. We try to be fair to other people watching the movie, but no, we do talk a ton during.
I mean, you can't talk to your friends about cinema. Come on now. Okay, so then I want to go into some of my overall stuff about the show, adaptation, and the romance thing. Overall, what I love about this episode and season 1 in general is we are hella world building. It's a lot of world building. And I think that's what a lot of people didn't like about season 1 is I think, you mentioned some slight pacing issues with this episode. And especially, you coming into it completely cold. I think a lot of people felt that way about season 1 as well. I love building a world. I love learning about the Aes Sedai and the Warder Bond and the Warder culture and the politics of the White Tower and the White Cloak philosophy. Like, I love all that shit, so I have zero problems with that, especially when the dialogue is really good and the characters are really interesting and all that stuff.
How do you feel about the prequels? Star Wars.
I am not, like, fanatical about them, but I do enjoy them.
Okay.
Relatively.
All right. I'm trying to put your interest in world building on a scale.
At what point in the scale is that?
Well, I mean, prequels is like off the scale.
Okay.
So at least you're within it.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. We're like learning about so many different people, groups of people, ideologies, religions, beliefs, cultures. And I think it does a really good job of making this world feel lived in and feel defined and like people actually live in this world kind of thing. And I think that's very remarkable for a show to like focus on and really take its time to build.
Yes.
Especially, with the idea of like, okay, in subsequent seasons, we're not going to have time for this shit. Like, eventually we're going to get on the road to saving the world, and then it's going to be like rapid fire.
Yeah.
So let's kind of take our time in this first season and like really give you a perspective of the world.
So the way that I kind of relate it, because I'm very video game broken right now.
Yeah.
But a game like Skyrim, when you're playing in that world, it doesn't feel like a fleshed out world because every character is waiting for you as the main character to do whatever it is they need to do.
Sure.
And I feel like too, now that I'm like relating that to other fantasies, like even Game of Thrones, yeah, you get the world building and like the politics and stuff, but like it's still about the main characters, and it feels like other people are waiting for the main characters to actually do stuff and be relevant. That might be a hot take.
Yeah. We're like almost 10 years removed from the end of Thrones at this point.
But it is, because now that
Or
I'm
the
thinking
height of
about this
Thrones.
more, and I'm thinking about the characters that I got introduced to in this episode, and again, all the intrigue that each of them has, going in a different way, but somehow in the same direction. It's so...
That's well put. Like, different, but somehow all moving in the same direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just captivating. It's so novel to anything else that I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you starting to understand the best fantasy show on television claim?
I am.
Yeah.
I am. Yeah. It's making more sense.
Yeah. And I think also in combination with that, it's not only like the world building, but also I think in this episode alone, I caught so many little allusions and foreshadowings of things that are coming in this season, but also in future seasons, like stuff that I just saw play out in season 3.
Okay.
And presumably, so it's like they're doing such a great job, I think, of from the beginning making this show with the whole rest of the journey in mind. And, to the point of Game of Thrones, like that's kind of why Game of Thrones
That's exactly
fell off, because they didn't have a direction they were going.
Yeah.
That wasn't necessarily their fault, but also they botched it. In this case, like they have the 14 books, and while it's 14 whole ass books, they got to figure out how to trim that down. They still have like the full direction, the full plot. So they can, very discreetly seed in these little bits and pieces to allude to where they're going. And then when you go back and rewatch, it's like you're getting a whole new perspective on the journey, because it's like stuff you didn't know.
It's got a high rewatch value.
High rewatch value. Hell yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I think they just do a really good job of balancing everyone, and like there's good tension and alluding to things that have already happened, but also foreshadowing things to come. I think particularly, like we mentioned in this episode already, the exchange or like the balance between the stuff with Perrin and Egwene and like getting captured by the White Cloaks and like the danger of that, but then kind of balancing that with the White Tower politics and like more like emotional heft in that area, but it's like connected by this thread of like the Aes Sedai.
Right.
And the One Power. Like everything's connected to the One Power. I don't know.
And that's like one of the things. Sorry, now I'm like just going off and thinking.
Go for it.
One of the things that is a piece of intrigue that has been at the back of my mind this whole time, but it's something I've never been able to voice because I didn't think I should.
Oh.
Are the Aes Sedai actually for the good of the world? And like, I don't know. It's one of those things that's like I'm starting to question it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Mm-hmm. Obviously the bitch character in his whole thing is fucking wrong.
Right.
But
we're not saying that.
Is there a point to be made there? Is there?
There might be. There might be. It may have just been made in season 3. I don't know. Maybe. So that's basically what I wanted to say about that episode. Now back to my adaptation spiel.
Ooh, we're having the adaptation
We're doing
spiel.
it. We're doing it. And we've tried to talk about this before in a completely separate episode, so it's kind of a redo of that episode. But I think
just got canned.
I think this show will be easier for me to talk about my theory. Okay, so how this show is doing adaptation. First of all, this might be the most batshit crazy story to adapt to screen ever.
Okay.
Like,
expand.
14 books.
Yes.
25 million characters. That's an exaggeration,
That's
but also
accurate.
not an exaggeration. Like, fantasy epic that is like extremely wide ranging and complex, as you've seen from just this episode. And also has like a lot of, you know, in the original series has a lot of obvious tropes that modern audiences are going to get bored with or going to be able to see coming a mile away. So, like, I would not wish this adaptation on my worst enemy. Like, this must be insanity to write and adapt. So, like, you have to think about that. Like, how can we do this in such a way that people aren't going to see the tropes coming a mile away, like, or check out of the story, basically. And to that end, I think the whole team on this show is doing that brilliantly. And they're making a lot of, like, capital C choices that offer an interesting take on this story that no one has done before and no one even saw coming. So I think
details.
Yes. So I have examples. So first and biggest example is basically making Moiraine the quote unquote main character.
Yes. Okay.
At least to start off the show, and not the Dragon Reborn, who is, you know, the hero in this hero's journey. When in the books, the story is told from the dragon's perspective. And I'm trying really hard not to say who the Dragon Reborn is, because
I think I know.
you probably know, but I'm still going to try and not say it.
Can I whisper it and you can cut this out so we don't spoil it for the audience?
Well, sure.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes! I got it right.
Yeah, they have main character energy.
They really do.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to miss.
Yeah. Okay, but for the show, they've essentially made Moiraine the main character. Mm-hmm. I cannot even put into words how genius of a move that is as like an adaptation choice to center your guide character, right? So, like, to compare this to Lord of the Rings, the Dragon Reborn is Frodo and Moiraine is basically Gandalf.
Yeah.
And this show is centering Moiraine as the guide to the hero, and like to make that the main tension of the story, not the hero's journey right away, but the guide's burden of guiding the hero, because she is on a goddamn mission to save the world, and she's not here to be the hero, but she's going to find the hero and train the hero and make sure the hero gets to the last battle if it's the last thing she does. And that is like so much more compelling to me and to an audience who has already seen Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter and the hero's journey a million times before.
It's Joseph Campbell's monomyth.
Exactly.
Right? The hero's journey, where, I mean, and if you don't know, hold on. I'm going to Google.
I have the book over there.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah. I haven't read the whole thing, but I've read parts of it.
So with the monomyth, it starts with the hero, so Frodo or Harry Potter, receiving the call to adventure, getting supernatural aid, and then eventually receiving a guide or guardian that introduces them into the world.
Also Luke and Obi-Wan. If you prefer Star Wars.
Yep. Yeah. So this is seen, I mean, it's called a monomyth because the theory is almost every single myth follows this path.
Right.
Which is why Wheel of Time is inverting it.
Yes.
Or I guess it's not. It's a circle. So I guess ripping it inside out.
Turning it inside out? Yeah, I don't know.
It's just
doing it differently.
Going on a tangent.
Yeah, and like that's so genius.
Yeah.
That's so genius to like take that angle and differentiate yourself from these other stories that everybody already knows and everyone's already internally comparing in their minds. Even if they're not consciously doing it, you're always subconsciously doing it because this story has just been repeated.
I mean, there's a reason we keep saying, oh, there's an Nazgul. There's
yes, exactly.
Legolas. There's
right. And like that, the books are, from as far as I know, a very straightforward hero's journey and told from the dragon's perspective.
No, and it seems too like those kids, the four little hobbits that get picked up by Moiraine, they seem a little like teenagers. They seem a little annoying, and it would be so annoying to follow them if they were the main characters.
You understand me.
Like, they have room to develop and grow, and you need bitchy, whiny teenager characters.
So that they can grow into interesting adults.
But that, as an audience member, when you're coming into a new world for the first time, you need a character you can latch on to.
Yeah, and like trust and like,
yes.
oh, they know what they're doing. And that's
not
Moiraine.
get annoyed with.
And not get annoyed with.
Stupid decisions. You can be like, God damn, you stupid kid.
Yeah.
And instead of being like, God damn it, I was rooting for you. Why are you doing this? You can be like, God damn it, I was rooting for Moiraine.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this to her?
Yeah. Yes. I could not have said it better myself. Yeah. 100,000,000%. Like if they had started off this show with like just really centering on these 4 whiny 20-year-olds, girl, I would have stopped after episode 1. I would not be here. But yeah, you center Moiraine, and then on top of that, you cast Rosamund Pike as Moiraine. Foolproof.
I will watch anything with her in it.
Yeah. Yeah. She's amazing. Especially in season 1, she almost far outclasses everyone else with her acting. Danielle Henney's right there with her in certain scenes, obviously as Lan, but she's just something else. Like the microexpressions on that woman, insane. So yeah, back to the adaptation thing. So I think that's genius. I think that's a huge differentiator. And there are like a million other choices like that throughout this show where I've heard people say, you know, the constant conversation, well, it wasn't like that in the books. But like every single choice they're making is either to update something weird or clunky or way too long or like weirdly misogynistic from the books, or to adapt it to the constraints and opportunities of being a TV show.
Which is exactly what an adaptation should do.
Oh, it's like we've had this conversation before.
I know. Can you believe it? It's like we're on the same page or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like that's my whole adaptation theory is adaptations can and should adapt in such a way that they are utilizing the constraints and opportunities of the medium that they are adapting into.
Even if you're telling the same story, you are not telling the same story.
Right. It cannot be the
story
same.
A book tells is different because it is constrained by what a book is.
Yeah. Or not constrained.
Writing on a page.
Yeah.
Which also means you can do all sorts of wild shit on a page.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
But then getting to use the film language as its own tool in the toolkit to tell the story.
Absolutely.
It should absolutely be something suited to that tool.
Yeah. And like, then there are, as I said, both constraints and opportunities in your medium. So obviously with a TV show, our main constraints here are time, budget, and like we have way too much story and not enough.
I would also posit any kind of internal monologue, whether it's from an omnipotent perspective or from the actual character's perspective. You are not getting characters' thoughts and processing.
Yeah, obviously the trade-off is you can do some cool visual shit.
Yes.
And you have an opportunity to adapt things in such a way that you kind of bring certain stories that were maybe only hinted at in the books to the forefront, and like, you know, and then because of that you have to sideline others. So it's like, especially in this adaptation, more than, like I said, probably any other I've ever seen, there's so, like, everything is a choice.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I have another example, just to like make this more concrete. Season 2 finale, it's like this big battle, right? Mm-hmm. In the books, in this battle, they are literally fighting in the sky, like hovering.
What?
The dragon is flying in midair, Dragon Ball Z style, and there's like a crazy big magic fight, okay?
Okay.
And there's this line that goes something like, the dragon will proclaim himself bannered across the sky in fire. And guess what? We ain't got the budget for that on the show. Like, we can't have a big magic battle. Like, that would blow their budget for the entire season, or a big part of it. So they changed the fight to be on top of this tower in the city that they're in. So still, for all intents and purposes, in the sky, quote unquote. So it fits this like little prophecy thing. And at the end, Moiraine conjures like a big old fire dragon in the sky to like proclaim the dragon. Ooh. And it's like real epic, real cinematic. We get to see a big old fire dragon that is not in the books, but it's still not blowing our budget to have characters literally hovering in midair, and like to have the budget to make that look good would be a lot. So I'll take the fire dragon any day. And like, and in the books, like it's like there's an actual banner of some kind. Like if you think about, you know, like armies going to war, they have like the banners.
Oh, okay.
So there's supposed to be some kind of special dragon banner.
Got it. I'm just thinking of like two cherubs holding up like a little silk
banner. Yeah, exactly.
The dragon has come.
Yeah. Probably a little more aggressive than that, but yeah. So in this case, you know, they made it a little bit more metaphorical, but also like a little bit more artistic and visual, having this like fire dragon in the sky, but then putting them on this tower. So they're still in the sky, but they're not.
Yeah.
You know, like to me, like that's a very clear adaptation choice that is fueled by the fact that this is a TV show.
Right.
You know? And that's the kind of thing like people get pissed off about. And I'm like, ooh, that's interesting. I love it. Yeah. And like on top of that, this is an unapologetically queer adaptation, an unapologetically diverse adaptation.
Very diverse.
Very diverse.
It's like, I did have a thought at some point during the episode where I'm like, I didn't even clock it because I'm so engrossed with the story.
Yeah.
But it was later on where I was like, this is a very diverse fantasy. Normally
Very.
fantasy is just white people.
Yep.
And I'm like, this is actually really cool.
Yep. And
Yeah.
in the books, as far as I know, it is like majority white people, or it's not discussed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It was written in the 90s. I don't know.
But there's like no, yeah, like I said, like you don't even notice because it's an engrossing story.
Right.
Which
right.
is exactly how it should be.
Yeah. The best part about it is there's even like an in-universe like reason, quote unquote, for everyone to be so diverse and like kind of mixed together.
Oh, really?
Which is because of the breaking of the world.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So guess what? Like you still have a story justification for it too, which is amazing. Not that we needed it, but
right. Yeah.
So we have that. As I said, every character is interesting and defined, even if they're a side character. Just in this episode, we saw like little hints of interesting backstory with Leandrin, Kristen Chenoweth. You know, Alana, we're starting to learn more about her and her warders. Valda, as hateful as he is, and his like crusade, bitch, yes.
Okay.
His crusade for what he believes is the light and the white cloaks and their whole thing. The Tuatha and their like non-violence principles. Fascinating. Yeah, and like the villains are not just evil for evil's sake, you know?
Yeah.
They all have like their own kind of motivations too. The villains become extra fun actually because not only do they all have their like own motivations and like interesting I guess reasons for doing what they do. I just said motivations. But also they're not all necessarily aligned with each other.
Yeah, they're not like teaming up.
No.
They're not team villain.
No. And you know, the light has its own problems too, but Team Villain is like especially disorganized and it's very fun to watch. They all kind of hate each other and it's great. Yeah, relationships are interesting, emotionally fulfilling, character arcs are well thought out. Like literally what else do you want? It's beautiful. We haven't talked yet about the costumes and how much color there is in this world.
We would need an entire episode to
Truly.
talk about costume and color.
Truly. I'm glad on that level. I think the show has gotten a lot of props and respect put on its name and the costume and production design team. Sharon Gillum is the lead costume designer for The Wheel of Time, and she has a great Instagram if you're curious. And if you're curious and you like want to see cool stuff from The Wheel of Time without spoilers, that'd be a fun way to do it because she's just sharing photos of the costumes and like talking about how they made stuff. It's fascinating.
That does sound fun.
And yeah, they're doing a lot of innovative stuff with the costuming in this show. More so, I think, than here's the tea, more so than Rings of Power.
Ooh.
Which a lot of times, which is beautiful also, but also a lot of times feels just like opulence for opulence sake to me. And it's like too much. I think Wheel of Time strikes the perfect balance between like, wow, there's something really visually interesting happening here, but also they didn't go too hard.
Yeah.
You know? And the design, I don't know. It literally has everything. Like, what do you want? Okay, do you want to talk a little bit about the romance thing?
Sure.
Okay, just real quick.
Yeah.
This
get
is
into it.
One of my pop culture hills I will die on.
And I think I'm dying on the same hill.
Well, yeah, I'm not like
I have died on
I'm
the
not
same
trying
hill.
to prove this to you. I know you're already on board.
Yeah.
Just for the people. And like, if you haven't thought about this before, this is the kind of stuff I think about my spare time.
Uh-huh.
So you're getting some insight into me, I guess. So for the purposes of this example, my buddy's my Rain and Land. I think this is one of the most like unique connected, devotional, totally platonic, but also deeply romantic relationships to ever grace my television screen.
They are romantic.
Aren't they?
Are they?
I'm going to define that. Hang on.
Okay.
So I love them. They're fascinating. And at this early stage in the show is doing a lot to emphasize their relationship and make a really big deal of this deep friendship they have, which is going to have like ongoing implications for throughout the show. So for me, first of all, I simply will never tire of seeing a man be just like so solidly there for a woman he loves.
Just completely devoted.
I mean, it's like catnip. He's just like, he's so grounded. He's so stable. He's so secure. And I'm using psychology words now, but like, Lan is the man, you know? The Lan and Aragorn comparison is real.
Yeah.
Because
I'm seeing it even more now that you're putting it this way.
Yeah, they're on the same level for sure. Like if you're having trouble understanding this, just think Aragorn. Like
Aragorn after he became king again.
Yes, but like Lan is also an uncrowned king.
Does he have a little insecurity about it?
Yeah, he does.
Oh my god, he's Aragorn.
Yeah. His kingdom is currently lost to something called the Blight, which was like overtaken by the darkness basically when he was a baby, and he's like the only one who made it out. Or the only one of the royal family, I guess, that made it out. So he's like the true heir and whatever. Anyway, so that's a little different. But point is, he's the kind of guy who's like, tell me what to do and I'll get it done. And like, I'm in it to win it. I'm in it for the long haul. I'm not going anywhere. Just solid.
Ride or die.
Ride or die. That's like a drug for me. I love that. Watching that is so great.
I do love a ride or die dynamic.
Yes. Yeah. And it creates a really good balance with her because she's always thinking like 7 steps ahead. Her brain is always like trying to prevent the next catastrophe and also trying to make the next right like 27 moves.
Yeah.
So she's got this strategic brain, but without him, she would be moving like way too fast and way too recklessly. And we may or may not see some of that in season 2. And as we'll learn more about him later, without her, he would be directionless. Like he's like stable and solid, but
he doesn't move.
Yeah. He's almost too much so.
Oh my God. It's like they complete each other.
It's like they're very symbiotic in that sense. And
that's such a good word.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And not a single sexual tension between them.
that I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah. So not one. But so the sexual tension scale is at a 0, but the romantic scale is at 110. Here's why. Okay. Here's why. I think that is what makes them so interesting.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to acknowledge this. Sex and romance are very fucking different.
Yes, exactly. Yes. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
They're 2 different scales.
They are very separate.
They're 2 different scales.
I can't see the romance in them yet, so I need you to argue that.
Okay.
I do not need you to argue the separation of the 2.
Okay, interesting. Cool.
I understand that.
Okay. Yeah, I have good arguments for this. Okay. You also haven't seen the rest of the show, and particularly the rest of this season. But okay, I think that difference, 0 sexual tension, but high romantic tension. I don't know if you would say tension, but
you could say romantic tension.
Sure. That like contrast is like what makes them so, like what draws you into them, because that's just like not something we're used to seeing. And I think there's a lot of fans, particularly fans who haven't read the books, are like, wait, but do I want them to be friends or do I want them to be together? And the answer is yes. Because because of this contrast. Yeah. And like we're not used to seeing that relationship, certainly not between 2 people as hot as they are and of opposite genders. Like in most other stories, they would be together.
Yes, especially if it was, like a pair like that was as emotionally connected.
Yeah.
They would absolutely be together.
Right. So, okay, so the romance versus sexual scale thing. I think we can all identify the platonic to sexual scale. Like you can look at an on-screen people. Well,
you say that.
Okay, most of us. can identify but like you can too. Like, you know, when you look at two people on the screen and like you can tell they want to rip each other's clothes off.
Yes, to a degree. There are still,
to a degree.
Okay, in screen, in TV, in movies, it's projected. So yeah. In real life, it goes over my head so much.
Okay.
And then people make comments like, yeah, did you know they're fucking? And I'm like, what? They're like, seriously, you couldn't tell? And I'm like,
yeah.
No.
Fair enough.
So I'm very oblivious. I'm very sex blind.
Fair enough. You can often tell, though, on screen.
On screen, it makes it pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the trick is with that is that then most people throw romance like somewhere in there and call it the same thing.
Yes.
It is not. I think of romance in like the original sense of the romantics, right? Like romantic era literature, art, poetry, etc., which is all about emotion, passion, depth of feeling, the natural world, beauty. Like, think of romantic artists. It's very much evoking the feeling. Like, if I had to narrow it down to one thing, I would say depth of feeling.
Yeah.
Right?
The passions.
Yeah. Particularly when you're talking about like what is a romantic relationship and you're taking sex out of it. So
I just real quick, I was trying to find the meme and I couldn't find it.
Okay.
But I feel like you'll relate to this. There is a meme, and I'm pretty sure it's on the Ace Memes subreddit, where it's basically like, don't give me any of that Hollywood bullshit. Give me Studio Ghibli relationships where it's, we're just going to form a really deep emotional bond and both mature emotionally together.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that is kind of what's happened. So like in this case, using Marine and Land as an example, it's all about the silent communication with just half an expression and eye contact and feeling each other's feelings through the bond. So obviously in this case, we have like the magical support of the bond to help us, but nonetheless, like the romance is Moiraine saying to Lan, this tower isn't home, you're my home.
Yeah.
Very genuinely. They've been on the road for 20 years together. It's like an ease of existing around each other.
Well, as you pointed out in the one scene where they don't talk, it's just literally existing together.
Right.
In a way that's very comfortable.
Right. And like the bond very much facilitates that, but it's also them because we know they also have a shared personal history together. Yeah. And like this, particularly in this season, we see a lot more of it from Lan to Moiraine, but like her to him too, like this constant, like unwavering emotional and physical support. Like just, we are there for each other. That is a rule, and a choice, obviously. But yeah, and it's like, it's her saying in the episode before this, your losses are mine and mine are yours. And it's him saying in the finale of this season, spoiler, before you, I had nothing to live for and nothing to die for. You have given me both.
Aww,
that is like God tier romance. That's God tier. And they're not sleeping together. So romantic, but not sexual. You can have one without the other. That's my argument.
And I mean, obviously I don't disagree.
Yeah, no, not at all. I just had to get it out.
No, I know. And it's honestly, it's one of my biggest frustrations with movies and TV and life is any male female pairing where they're friends, there is always so much pressure and expectation that they're gonna fuck. And vice versa, if there's any sexual tension in a TV show, the assumption is, well, then they're just going to be a romantic pairing. Yeah. And then you have shows that have really good sexual tension, but when they try to do the romance side of the relationship, it's really shitty.
Right. And it's I think it's because they're not seeing it as two things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just they're just the same. They're not. They are different.
Yeah. Different energy.
Yeah. I think most people can imagine sex without romance, but a lot of people struggle to visualize the opposite, romance without sex. But it's real. It exists.
Yeah. And this is like grade A
example. This is a
example.
really good example. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's like other examples off the top of my head I can think of.
I can think of one.
What you got?
But it wasn't okay. So Hot Fuzz.
Oh, right. You've talked about this. Yeah.
Danny and Angel have a very interesting bromance, and it's because they had initially written a female love interest for Nicholas Angel, and then they realized she really didn't add anything to the plot, but they kept her dialogue and gave it to Danny, Nick Frost's character, and it works so well, and they have this beautiful bromance together, and it is, in a way, a very romantic friendship.
Yeah.
But no sex. There's no sexual tension whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that, like, that, I guess it's that idea to me that is so interesting of, like, a romantic friendship.
Yeah.
Or, like, I think another way to say is platonic soulmates, like people say a lot, which is, you know, alluding to this idea of, like, big, capital B, big, capital R romance without the sexual tension.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very interesting. The random example that popped into my head was Clint and Natasha from Avengers. Yeah, yeah.
Right over my head.
Yes, two of our original Avengers who were S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. And they're in the original Avengers movie, you do wonder if they're kind of setting them up to be together. And again, it's like based on, you can tell they know each other really well. They're really good partners. They fight really well together, you know, in the context of superhero movie. They have witty dialogue and banter, but like they also have like a deep emotional connection. And then in the second movie, they reveal, oh, he actually has like a whole separate family and a wife and kids and stuff. But like they also have this very deep connection and like partnership. So yeah, I think that's another one that's like really well done, I think. And originally, like I was, you know, my 18-year-old self was like, they're not together. But now I can really appreciate it as that. Yeah, I could go on forever, honestly, about the show. But I think that's where I'll leave it.
I mean, if you force me to watch it with you, I won't say no.
Yeah, I think it'd be really fun for us to watch together and then do like a season by season kind of discussion thing.
Some extra bonus episodes in here.
Right. Or maybe if we watch season 1 off the pod, maybe we could start season 2 as like our next reaction thing after, because it really starts to pick up in season 2. Right. You know,
TBD.
Yeah, TBD. We'll see. We have to do a little preview.
We have to
for
do
next
ratings.
Time, right? Oh, ratings! Oh no, you guys, I forgot about ratings. I forgot about ratings.
Who would have thunk?
Oh,
you always forget.
I like really forgot though. I forgot this was a thing.
I haven't thought of one yet, if that helps.
Oh, I don't know if it does.
I've known that I've had to do it since I packed up my backpack and started driving over here, and then it popped in my head. Still haven't thought of one yet, though.
Okay. Well, damn. I'm glad you remembered because I would have totally skipped over it.
I got mine.
Wow, that was fast. What is your rating for this episode of The Wheel of Time?
This episode 10 out of 10 very sad boots on a horse.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. You went with 10, not 2.
No, because it was very sad.
Because it was very sad. That's fair. Oh, man. Ooh, maybe I got one. Ironically, it's not related to any of what I was just talking about. I'm going to give this episode 1 out of 1 stabs that should have went just a little bit higher. Like she stabbed him in the like shoulder area.
He's not dead?
He's not dead. No.
What the fuck?
Yeah, just a little, like through the neck. You got to get him through the neck. She went down into the shoulder. Yeah. She got him real good, but
not good enough.
Not quite dead.
Next week
on the show off.
What are we doing? We are watching WandaVision.
Yes.
Episodes 3 and 4. So now in color, and we interrupt this program. Yeah. Another twofer back to our WandaVision / Agatha All Along reactions. I'm watching all this shit for the first time, and Amanda is relishing in it. I don't know what you got to add.
Well, just real quick from the episode titles and where we've come so far in episodes 1 and 2. Do you have any expectations of where we might be going? Anything you're interested to see? Obviously, we are slowly making our way up the eras of TV.
We are. So we're getting 70s and 80s.
I would say that's a fair bet.
What do I expect? Sorry, I haven't even given this any thought. So she's pregnant.
Yep. Magically pregnant.
Magically pregnant. So I'm expecting some shenanigans around that.
Yep, that's a good bet.
And some cracks in the universe that she's not pregnant surrounding that somehow.
Oh, okay.
What else? I mean, as far as like visually, what show do I think of when I think of the 70s? I think of MASH.
Ooh, okay.
I'm expecting something that's filmed in a MASH-like style.
Interesting.
As far as like color grading and...
Would it make a difference for me to tell you that all of the shows that we're referencing in WandaVision are sitcoms?
Oh, okay. Wait. What's a good 70s sitcom?
Is Googling it cheating?
No, of course not. I don't know these.
Think
All in the Family, is that the big one?
Yes.
I thought that's that.
I feel like there's another big one that I'm thinking of, but I'm not 100% sure.
Laverne and
70s.
Shirley.
Maybe.
See, all I can think... MASH is technically a sitcom.
Is it?
Yeah.
Doesn't it have like bits and pieces of drama though?
Oh my God, there's one episode that still haunts me to this day.
Oh wow. I've only seen like, a little clips here and there of it. I've never, or I've maybe watched like one full episode at one point for some reason.
Taxi! That's another 70s sitcom.
Okay.
That one's fucking great. Danny DeVito.
Okay.
Three's Company. I forgot about that one. Happy Days? When was that? That's the 80s though. Anyway.
Okay. I'm just going to throw one out. I think this
Oh no, Happy Days is the 70s. Okay, so I am picturing Happy Days for WandaVision for episode 3, and then some weird shenanigans with pregnancy. I have no idea what the plot's going to be otherwise, because who would have guessed Magic Show as one of the plot lines?
True. Well, and we also have these outside forces that are slowly creeping in to the neighborhood and the construction that we are existing in.
Yeah.
So maybe some stuff with that.
More of that. And then episode 4, we interrupt this program, makes me think that we're just going to be like, yep, this isn't the real world at that point.
Ah, okay.
And then from there on, it's going to be figuring out how to like stop this from happening. And it's 80s, right? God, I want it so badly to be like a Magnum PI thing. And I know it's not if you say it's all sitcoms.
Yeah.
Damn it.
All good guesses though.
Okay, now I gotta look up 80s sitcoms.
Might as well just finish it out.
I feel like the 90s is gonna be like Full House or something. What's good on here? What's good? Oh, Full House apparently started in the 80s. But
late 80s.
Oh, Golden Girls. We better get like a Golden Girls thing. Worf. Seinfeld. Yeah, we got some good ones in there.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see like what kind of references that you pick up that I don't pick up, because I think you have more.
So my 70s, they should do a Mark and Mindy is what they, there's, okay. Let me back up. I'm pretty sure it's 70s. Hold on. Have you heard of Mark and Mindy?
Yes, my mom loved that show.
Oh my God. Okay, 1978.
Okay.
I hope to God they reference Mork and Mindy, because I fucking love that show. If you don't know what that is, listener, it's Robin Williams.
Yeah.
It's not technically his breakout role, because his breakout role was on Happy Days as Mork the alien, and then they created this whole spin-off show called Mork and Mindy, where he's an alien.
Yeah.
Doing weird alien shenanigans.
And like he's an alien who's trying to pretend to be human, right?
Yes.
And like fit into human
trying.
Quote unquote.
He's really bad at it.
Trying in a sitcom way.
Yes. In a Robin Williams sitcom way.
Right.
Fun fact, when they were writing it, at a certain point they just stopped writing dialogue for Robin.
Oh, I fully believe it.
And they literally were just like, all right, and then he just
go, my
freestyles.
Friend. Yeah. Go forth. Flourish.
Yes.
Amazing.
Best way to direct Robin Williams is to not direct him at all.
For sure.
Yeah, and then I guess what else for episode 4? Yeah, I think the main thing is we're just finally going to be like, yeah, this is not the real world. Something weird is officially confirmed happening.
Okay.
We still got to figure it out.
Okay. I like these predictions.
That's all I got.
Yeah, and I do remember where we're going, but I also don't remember where we're going, so that will be fun to rewatch with you.
Exciting ride.
Awesome.
Ooh, and then what fun tongue-in-cheek phrase is, I can't think of her name, but you know who I'm talking about.
Oh, Agatha?
Thank you. What kind of fun tongue-in-cheek thing is she going to say on this one?
She's always got something.
She's always got something funny, like, well, if it isn't the star of the show.
Right. Yep. That's my girl.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay.
So tune in next time for that. And thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. And you can email us if you wish to share your thoughts at theshowoffpod@gmail.com. You can also leave a comment on YouTube or on Spotify, because you can leave comments on Spotify now.
So weird to me.
I'm going to keep saying that until it sinks in for all of us, because it is weird, but it's also kind of cool. So anything else to add?
Yes.
Oh.
I am so excited for my fantasy episode pick. It's a pick out of left field, and stay tuned for that, because it's going to be a fun one.
I'm stoked. Can't wait for it. Always love a left field pick from you.
I got lots of them.
It's going to be great. Okay. That's all from us for this episode, and we'll catch you guys next time. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of The Show Off. If you enjoyed this one, go ahead and leave us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcast and give us your review of our episode pick for this week's pod. You can also email us at theshowoffpod@gmail.com. See you all next week.